YouTube, what's up? Welcome to day 3 of the No One Left Behind Challenge. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Take your seats, take your seats. We have the entire internet watching us, and they're all listening to you guys. All right. Who's had an incredible day 3 so far, folks? Here. Guys, really? Is that just because you ate and you're digesting right now and you're low energy? Who had a good day 3? Amazing. Recap for all of you in YouTube land on what we worked on this morning. This morning, we had a masterclass in finding buyers. Who thinks that they have a great understanding on how to get out there and find some buyers right now? By noise, because they can't see you. How many have some strategies they had never even thought of? And who's got strategies that could help them find buyers that's going to cost them absolutely nothing? Yes. And I'm sorry, YouTube, that you didn't get to see that. So, if you would like to, in the future, be in the room where it happens, go to www.startwithpace.com and join us, because this place is dope, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. In addition to that, we had a master class in underwriting and comping properties. Who think they learned something here on comping properties today that they didn't know walking in? The only person who said nothing was Katya. Who, for those of you in YouTube land, if you're wondering who that was, we actually had a licensed appraiser up here, and her and I were going back and forth, getting really granular on ways to underwrite, all the best practices. And I believe that I learned something in today's session. I thought it was incredibly useful and helpful, and I know that I'm going to be a better comper because of it. And I think every one of you will have the same thing. So when you're out there looking at opportunities, make sure that you apply what you've learned. In fact, YouTube land, they all got this incredible worksheet that you could have also had if you were in the room, but you're not here. So go to www.startwithpace.com and don't be that guy, because next time we'd love to have you in. All right, guys, enough of that. We have people waiting to talk to us. If you know what the No One Left Behind Challenge is, that's where we, closers, are making calls. These appointments have been set for us. Again, we're using LOI Blaster to set the appointments. We're going after specific types of leads. We're either going to go after cash deals, creative deals, some form of hybrid. At the end of the day, we are looking to solve problems. These appointments have been preset. So the leads are in our hands. Us as closers are going to be hopping on the calls with these real estate agents, trying to get a deal to the finish line, whether that be under contract or sold if we get something put under contract immediately. So we've had a great couple of days. Today is going to be even better. We're going to be hopping on the phones. I've got an appointment that was actually 10 minutes ago. So if you guys are okay with it, I'm just going to make the call. Okay, cool. Are we ready, guys? Yeah. YouTube, if you're ready, put ready in the chat, blow that chat up, and if you're on Zoom right now, put ready in the Zoom chat, because we need to see your energy, because that's what makes us vibe. You know what I mean? All right.
Oh no, you're now known as Turkey Tummy.
I'm Turkey?
Hashtag Turkey Tummy.
That was on there.
Thanks, Ingrid.
Sorry.
If also you guys were not available or weren't here for it, I don't know how many times Ingrid backhanded me today, calling me. How many times did she call me old, would you say today?
I'm
like
old like you.
4 or 5 times?
I'm old
7
like you.
times? Anyhow, all right.
You know, Pace says that if you razz on like your friends, it's because you love them.
I agree.
Okay.
I totally
And
agree.
I super love you.
I super love you back. Okay, so I have an agent right now that I'm calling. This property, 81 days on market. It's in Tempe, Arizona. And the agent is Susan. Let's see what Susan has to say for herself.
This is
Susan.
Hey, Susan, Jamil here. I'm so sorry. I was supposed to call you 15 minutes ago. Is it still a good time to chat about the property in Tempe on Stephanie Lane?
Oh, sure.
Okay, good. All right, so just real quick backstory on me. I'm an investor. I have to make a couple of purchases here in the next 30 to 60 days on advice of my accountant. So I'm looking for a couple of deals. And, of course, I'm in the business. And so I've been, just like you probably noticing, the market is very, very, very sleepy and difficult. And so I just want to know the details on this house. Do you think there's an opportunity for somebody like me to come in here and maybe make a deal with this? Could you kind of catch me up to speed on what's been going on?
So, well, first of all, there's always opportunities. Second of all,
I love your attitude. Thank you for that. There is always opportunities. We just have to find them.
Right.
Awesome.
But your emails leave out a lot of info.
On
I can't
purpose.
Just go to my clients
On
without,
purpose.
How many years? What's the interest rate?
Sure.
I mean, they're going to want more. They're not going to even consider it unless we get more into the specifics of it.
I love it.
Because, yeah.
No, and you're 100% correct. Here's why the email is vague. We don't want to make a representation on something that we won't be able to do. We're also just kind of feeling it out to see if there is an opportunity to do something creative. Reality is, Susan, is that right now, even the deals of mine that I've sold, I've had to sell a couple of flips with owner financing, and I even did one where I passed on my existing financing because that's how I got my price. And so when the market's super sleepy like this is when we have the availability to sell to a different subset, which is really looking for existing or embedded financing, right? And so even as a buyer right now, it's attractive to me because I don't want to go out there and get an 8% loan. If there's existing financing on the house right now that I could take over, and of course, there's no financing. Okay, so they own it outright?
We're not doing wholesaling here, no.
Okay, sorry.
We'll do seller financing.
You would do owner financing on this. Perfect. Okay, so it's owned outright. You'd potentially do owner financing. You'd be interested in knowing what I would be able to put down, what the term would look like, and what that payment would be. Is that correct?
Yes, I think the letter said something like $35,000. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at it right now, but that wouldn't be enough either down.
I 100% agreed. Just so you know, I use technology to send those emails out, and the technology runs numbers on an algorithm. At a $1.1 million purchase price, it would be insulting of me to come with a $35,000 down payment. So I totally understand. I'm even surprised you agreed to talk to me right now with that, having been written in there like that. So thank you for being just awesome and not judging me for that. I get it. You want a substantial enough of a down payment to know that I'm got skin in the game, and so that your sellers know that I'm not some like schmuck that's gonna just leave them high and dry in the future, right? I gotta have some money.
Right.
Would they be? So let me ask some questions, because there's a couple of ways that sellers can benefit from doing a deal like this that I want to kind of tell you about, right? So oftentimes what happens when someone's got a big capital gain on a property, say they've made, say they bought this for like 500 grand. I haven't checked the tax record, so I don't know what that is, but let's just say they paid $500,000 and they get 1.1 for it now. That means they're going to make $600,000. If it wasn't their primary residence, they're going to have to pay capital gains tax on that full amount.
So that's not an issue.
Okay, so they're not worried about the taxes, which is good.
No.
One of the ways, though, that they can still, defer any tax implication whatsoever is by breaking it up over time, right? So if they're taking payments over time, that's super helpful. I can usually make these make sense where I can bake my interest rate. So if we say like, hey, right now you guys are looking for 1.1, maybe I came in at 1.2 or 1.3 and I overpaid for the property on the purchase price, but then I do like 0% interest because of that. And why I would do that is, for me as a depreciation play, because I'm paying more for it in the front or like on the actual purchase price, I can get a better depreciation schedule because of that. And so I like to bake in my interest in the purchase price. Maybe your sellers would be open to that. Maybe they just want to be more traditional and say, no, we want to do like 4% or whatever, 5%, whatever it is. And so that's super negotiable. But the fact that they're open to this, or that, I don't know, have you presented it to them at all? Have they?
No, I haven't, because to me it's not serious until we talk it out.
Okay,
so.
okay, cool. So let's just say I came in with like 100 grand down, and I agreed to purchase the house at, say, like 1.25. And I did, you know, a 30-year AM with a 15-year balloon. Would that be a structure you would be open to presenting to your sellers?
15 years, I don't know if they will go that long.
Okay.
So we've talked about 5 to 10, or 5
Okay.
to 7 really is what we've talked about. I think 15 years might be a little long for their
Okay.
comfort level.
I appreciate that. My minimum is 10, so if you could get them up to 10, I'm happy at
Okay.
10. So if they could do 10, then I'm good with 10. I don't need a 15-year because I'm happy to refinance that in 10 and get them out. So that's essentially what I'd love to present. Let's present to them 1.25, 100K down, 0% interest, of course, because I'm baking in the interest on the purchase price. We do a 30-year AM, 15-year balloon.
Okay, hold
Or
on.
10-year balloon,
I'm
I
writing this all
apologize.
down. So
Yep.
1.25, 100 grand down, 10-year balloon. What did I miss? I missed something.
30-year amortization, so that my payments
30-year
are
amortization.
yeah. I want to keep the payment low so that I can, you know, rent the house out or do something with it to cash flow.
Okay. Okay. And did you mention an interest rate? I don't know if they'll do 0.
Well, yeah, the interest rate I have baked into my price, right? So by going to
Okay.
1.25, I'm overpaying 150, and I'm basically, instead of paying interest, I'm paying it on the purchase price. If they would rather do 1.1 and pay an interest rate, that's fine. I like it better on the purchase price because it helps me on a taxation basis. So I'd prefer to have it done that way, but of course, this is a negotiation point. We can iron that out later on. It's going to be the same, really. It's going to work out to about the same. I just like to take it in the front instead of in the back.
Got it. Okay. Well, let me present this to him, and this is the best number to call you on?
It is.
Okay. I will program you my phone. I'll give them a shout and see if they are interested in considering the 10-year.
Okay.
I'll figure out, I don't know, I'm going to have to figure out the 30-year amortization, so I'll go.
I've got a whole table. We can, that's easy to do.
You want to forward that to me, and then that way I just show them
Yes. Yes.
your view, not something I made up, and maybe it's,
Yeah, I'm happy to.
get entered correctly or whatever.
Happy to.
So, okay, cool.
Yay. I'm so happy that we got to chat. Thank you, Susan. And are you cool if I just circle back with you tomorrow? And if you get a positive response from them tonight, feel free to text me tonight and we can hop on a call.
Okay.
But yeah, this is great. How's everything working for you otherwise? Do you have other deals I can look at that you could potentially see us working a structure like this out on?
No, I don't. I have another listing, but they have a low mortgage, but she needs the equity, so she
Okay.
doesn't want to finance, be seller financing.
Okay, no problem. And then
yeah.
ugly houses. If you come across anything original, or like I bought a hoarder house yesterday that would be like nightmare worthy, but like I love that stuff. So anything that you ever
Okay.
find that's just super beat up, fire burns, all of that, it's my specialty.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, and we'll chat soon.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yay!
You attract all the seller finance deals.
Yes.
I love it.
Because I meditate in the morning. I'm like, I just want to be better than Ingrid. I just want to be better than Ingrid. She missed my joke, by the way, but you guys all got it.
I caught it. You know what I was thinking? I was like, dang, Jamil's hanging out with me too much.
I know. That was really good.
That was a really good
I'm
one.
surprised I kept my stuff together on that one. Yeah, I like it. And here's the thing I want to kind of say to you guys. So really expensive homes, right? These like $1 million plus homes that are really pretty. They're actually some of the easiest ones to sell.
Yep.
because you've got buyers like myself who are self-employed. And a lot of business owners that are self-employed, they're not showing all of their income on their taxes. And so getting mortgages is really hard because we got to get something called a jumbo loan, which if you've ever had to go through that process, it's like a root canal getting a root canal in the middle of a colonoscopy. It's very intrusive and painful. So what ends up happening is we give up like a week into the process of the documents and all that, right? And so it's a very easy sale to put out an owner-financed home with 0% interest. Like imagine this, we get into this thing for, 1.25, okay? And I put 100 grand down. I could go and arbitrage that down payment to a self-employed buyer and say, I want 250 down and keep all the terms the same. And I'd make my 150 grand on the down payment and I could walk. I could also wrap a mortgage around that, and imagine this: if I said to them, "Hey, I'm gonna give you guys a 4% interest rate at 1.25," that guy's gonna already be over the moon because he's a self-employed person getting a 4% rate, right? So that's why I really like to negotiate owner financing down to zero and bake the money into the purchase price, because psychologically to my buyer, it gives me so much basis to play with. Does that make sense? And do you understand how you can make big clips of money on the down payment by just moving that to somebody who could get into that home? And do you understand why somebody like that would pay that? Sweet. Okay, on to the next.
Amazing. Cool. Starbeezy.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Please leave your message.
She texted me, I'll call you back. Eunice, I'm trying to get you paid, girl. Come on. When's a good time? I'm running tight on schedule. She's at an appointment.
Who's got the 3:30? Is that you, Casey?
That's me, yeah. We got Rebecca. Let's see if she's ready early.
Well, you're only 2 minutes early.
That's right. This one's in Queen Creek.
Okay, can I give you some love, Jamel?
Yeah?
You have such a range. Super, super intelligent in how you like come off to these agents and using these very credible words. And then you do the front and back joke. Right? You want that range. Just a call out.
Oh, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank you. Thank you. It's like I'm a mullet, like I'm a live mullet, right? I'm business in the front, party in the back.
All right, I'll try this one, and then I want to walk through one of the ones the students booked here in this area that you guys. It looks pretty good, so we'll talk through it. It's
What?
one of the ones. So they were booking all day, and I was calling in the back room, but it's one here in this area, so I want to get your guys' feedback.
Oh, feedback.
It looks decent.
Yeah. Cash?
Seller finance.
Okay.
So I'll try her first though, because I texted her. This is Rebecca.
Do you need a number? Because I'm an agent, and do you have it? Yeah?
Oh, this is the next one, but
Okay.
Hello, you reached Rebecca.
I think I put my number instead
oh,
of Age's number.
you put your okay.
Look,
Go ahead.
Her name is Rebecca.
Hey.
Wrong Rebecca.
It's Jay is the agent's name. Does it give you his information?
If you give me the...
Go ahead. No, but go ahead. It's oh, you know what? I'm on the listing, so it's Jay Brew. I see it. 480. Let me go here.
You got his number. Okay.
480. Thanks, Rebecca.
That's Rebecca.
I was texting her. Are you ready for the call?
afternoon, Jay here.
Hey, Jay, this is Casey Gregerson giving you a shout on the property.
Hey.
Did I catch you at a good time? I'm actually,
Yep.
for once, like right on time. Maybe I shouldn't
Yep.
tell you that, though, but we've been running late all day. But anyway, hey, if you got a couple quick minutes, I was going to walk through this one with you. I know, actually, Rebecca, did you talk to Rebecca earlier about this one?
About which one?
We're on 23-135 Calle, or
Okay.
Calle de
Yep.
Flores.
Yeah.
That one ringing a bell? Okay. Awesome. Well, I'll jump in, and I won't take much of your time, right? The last thing I want to do, well, let me start it off here. Have you had any other investor offers on this one? I know you guys only been on the market 26 days.
No, we haven't got any offers, but we've had quite a few showings here as of late.
Perfect, but nothing's actually came through, huh? And I saw you guys just dropped, that was 412, so a couple weeks ago, you guys dropped.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that's what caused a little bit of an uptick in showings?
Most likely, yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, I want to kind of present something which is going to be a little bit creative, and it might not just, again, you guys have been on the market 26 days, so it's probably not ideal right now, but I still wanted to put it in front of you, if that's okay.
All right, what are you proposing?
Yeah, so we would, because I'm an investor, right? There's always two options. I can give you the cash offer, right? That's typically, I'm pretty conservative. Honestly, I'm usually about 70% of market value for me to be able to go in and flip it. But at the same time, this house looks gorgeous, huh? Is there any value add potential on this house you've seen?
Not really. With a pool, maybe.
With a pool, okay. Because just looking at the photos, yeah, it looks gorgeous. So probably not a whole lot of value add. So anyway, I was going to kind of skip through that offer because it's probably not the best fit for your client. But what we could do though is setting up like a seller finance. Do they have the house free and clear?
No, they have a mortgage.
They have a mortgage, okay. Do you know that rough balance? I don't know the exact number, but it'll help me frame this up.
I don't know, but I know it's over 50%.
Over 50, but okay. But probably around there, like between 50 and 60%?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just call it 250K. I'm just gonna kind of do a round ballpark. Okay, so the way I would structure this is ideally we would take over that payment because I'm assuming, do you happen to know their rate on this one? Like their interest rate?
No.
No idea. Do you know, and I could even look at the history when they bought it. That'll sometimes tell me. I'm just looking at the price history too. Looks like they bought it in 2020. So rates they were a lot better than they were right now. So that's kind of where I'm going with this is if we could take over their payments and we could even make some payments on their equity because they've got a good chunk of equity on this thing. But anyway, what are your thoughts on that kind of structure? I can keep walking you through the details, but I didn't want to.
I don't think it would work.
Really? Do they? Go
Why
ahead.
would they want that though?
So again, if you guys get somebody who comes along and does a full price offer where you're at, like you guys should take that all day, right? But this is a good.
Have you looked at the comps?
I haven't dug too deep in them myself, but Rebecca was looking at them earlier.
Yeah, we're sitting right where the last one sold. So.
Okay. And I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate with the market. It's been tough. I know I'm a fix and flipper, and I've had a ton of my stuff sitting and not moving, and it's been rough. So really just want to provide another option for you guys. And here's the other thing. So what might help is if you could talk to your client okay, let's play this out. Let's say in 30 days you guys are still sitting. You guys can either drop price or that's when you could kind of look at our offer because we could still pay full price. Because you asked why would they take this? Well, if we can actually give you full price and we could take advantage of that seller's loan at a good rate, then we could actually get them the top dollar.
They would still be on the loan, and then how are they supposed to buy another house?
Yeah, we can structure it to where they could still get another loan on it because we would use an escrow company and we would make payments to them. And then escrow company makes a payment to the mortgagor, and then they can actually go take that to their new lender and show, hey, yes, my name's still on this property, but this is actually being paid by somebody else, right? Do you have rental properties? Do you own any of them?
Do people actually take these deals?
Yeah, you'd be surprised, honestly, especially in this market right now when rates are high, and Yeah, we do. Honestly, we've structured probably 50% of the deals. 50% of the rentals I'm buying, I'd say in the last 12 months, we're buying just like this. Because interest rates are so high, right? I built my portfolio over the last 10 years when rates were low, right? And I could actually cash flow properties. But today, as an investor and as a buy and hold investor, you got to get creative. But
I don't think the seller would, throw it and offer it. I don't know what.
Yeah, so I could put it together. I would propose something around here. So we do your full asking price, right? So we'd be priced around, your full asking at $550. We would take over that. So I need to get a little bit more information as far as their loan payment, because the way this is going to work for me is if the monthly payment to you, or sorry, to the mortgagor, right? If I can get that, and I make that payment each month, when I know that, I'll know how much I can actually pay the seller, because we could actually pay the seller back over time, right? We pay it monthly. And I'm not asking, you're probably thinking, I'm going to do this for like the life of the loan, right? For like 30 years. And I'm not proposing that. We might do for example, like a 5-year balloon. And so when rates come back down, I could refinance or I could go sell it at that point.
I really don't see how that's any benefit to the seller.
It's really based on the full purchase price, right? If they can get, again, if you're priced well and you get an offer, it's a moot point. But I'm just saying, at some point they're going to maybe have to make the choice of, do we drop price and take less, or do we lock in at the price we want, right? And then we just got to wait to get it, right? And they could actually make interest and make more money over the long run.
You're sick. That's not. There is no benefit to the seller. It's like stealing if people go along with this.
What are we stealing? We're giving them the full price.
There's no advantage to taking that offer. Yet, it gets messy with having that mortgage with the seller. They don't want that. You guys may not make payments. Heck, there's so many things I can. The only way it would make sense is if they got an extra like 30 or 40 grand. That's the only way.
Yeah. Well, we could.
While we're getting showings right now, it's a brand new 2019 property in a beautiful neighborhood.
Again, I 100% agree with that. If you guys can get it sold right now, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, we could. And honestly, if we get the right terms, meaning like the payments that I'm going to make, because the seller's got, let's call it $250,000 of equity. If we structure that properly, yeah, I could pay over $30,000 to $40,000, right? Because to me, it's a cash flow game, right? If my payment to the seller to pay their loan and to them, if that's less than what I could rent this thing out for, then that's how I make money.
You still probably won't cash flow. That's the thing. What are you going to cash flow? A couple $100?
Yeah, actually, what I was going to ask you that. What are you seeing for the rent comps on this in this area?
2,800.
2,800. Yeah, and do you know, again, what would you guess their mortgage payment is on it? Because you might be right, it might be negative.
I think they say like 1,900 or so.
19. Okay, so there's a little bit of cash flow, right? And then just play this out. Let's say I could rent it out. If I could rent this out for $2,800, right, that's about $900 of cash flow. I could probably cut that in half and give half of that to the seller every month over time, right? And again, let's say that I could pay the additional $30,000 or $40,000. If I can get the right terms, that's how I can make this work. Because again, I think that the market is going to come back, rates will drop, right? And this is a way that I can get into another rental property, and that your sellers can sell it top dollar.
All right, we'll send something over in an email. That would be best, all right?
Okay. And you'll present it. I'll put that together. And again, I'm not expecting them to take this offer right now, right? But it's something, if they have trouble in the next 30, 60, 90 days, definitely come back to us.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you, Jay.
Bro, you are so calm. You're so measured that how many times did I want to pull his phone out of his hands and throw it? Right? Because this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He has these walls up. What are you going to even cash flow? You yourself just explained how there's $1,000 in cash flow in this house, dipshit. Sorry, excuse me, but like, come on, right? You handled that so well. Really, like, I think everybody needs to just take a lesson in that. Is the reality is that the guy doesn't understand what is going on, and so his human emotions are going to start to want to push buttons and start to want to say things that aren't real and that aren't valid. And your job is to emotionally regulate yourself, so you don't do what I would do, which is throw the phone. You do what Casey would do, which is remain calm, measured, steady, and navigate that conversation like a professional so that you can get this to the other side. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong. We want to serve the seller, right? And Casey wants to get a deal out of this thing, right? So that's what we always have to remember. You have to always remember who's the benefiting party here. It's not the agent. It's the seller at the end of the day is going to be a benefiting party. How many days on market was this house?
Only 26.
26. Okay, so again, you can see the arrogance and the cockiness of a 26-day-old listing, right? Mm-hmm. Let's see how this guy talks at day 95 when he's closer to getting fired, right? And he's more open to this, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, maybe you're going to change your tone a little bit here, right? But I loved how you said, look, dude, I don't expect you guys to take my offer right now. This is something to think about in the future. Maybe 60, 90 days in the future, this could work. It was just, I think you handled that so well. And of course, send the email, get that in front of them, and let some time go by and then see how it plays out. But dude, whatever, like, do you do breath work or meditation or like what? How are you? What's your Tai Chi? Like, what's your deal, bro?
It's the first time I've ever been called sick.
Yeah.
I was offended for you.
Yeah. At first I was
Like really though, but you just did that. You did that so incredibly well. So, guys, that was a master class in professionalism and how to just be a good person in the face of somebody being a total D-bag to you. So it's important though. We never want to lose it. We never want to lose our cool, because when you lose your cool, it doesn't matter even if you're right. You lost. They own you at that point, right? And so we have to remember. We got to remember to keep our cool. We got to remember to keep the seller's best interests at heart. Yes, Randy.
You know, love it, Casey. You're solid. I love how you just flowed through that. From an agent's perspective, you got to realize that 95%, and I'm being gracious, of the agents will not understand this, so they don't know how to explain it to their seller. You're putting them in a position to look stupid to their seller. So we have to think of that. I think from the real estate side to the Subto side, right? If you think of that every time of how am I going to position this to the agent to be the hero and not the victim in the story, you're going to win.
For those of you in
You did
YouTube
really
land
good
and
with that.
Zoom right now, I just want to reiterate what Randy was saying. Sorry, we didn't have a mic on him. What Randy is saying, Randy is a really big real estate agent. He has a huge EXP brokerage team. And what he was talking about is when we're presenting, like what Casey is presenting to the realtor is a concept he doesn't quite understand. And so because he doesn't understand it, that puts him at risk in explaining it and looking stupid to their client. And that's what gets the agents back up against the wall, and it activates their nervous system to be on defense because they see a threat to their listing, they see a threat to their reputation, and they see a threat to their ultimate capacity to earn money, right? So they're gonna be aggressive and pushing back at it. What Randy just said, which I think is a really important thing to note, is when presenting these opportunities to these real estate agents, present it, try to package it in a way that makes the agent be able to communicate it very simply and also makes them look like a hero. How do you make the agent look like a champ, and how do you give them what we're wanting to do in such a digestible format that they look good presenting it, and even if the seller says no, they still look really good for having brought something to the table. So that's a really good point, and we should all take that into consideration when we're having these calls, because you're right. You're 100% right. They are, if they do a bad job of explaining that to their client, they're going to look dumb, right? Yes.
Hold on, there's no microphone. But I just real quick, I'll add to that.
Yeah.
That we are also, as agents, not allowed to go outside our expertise. Just like we're actually not even supposed to sell properties that we are not familiar with in location, because we are held liable for that. So there's a lot of liability, a lot of fear-based real estate that goes on in our heads as agents. So when you're already a fear-based person, it's hard when you're also now adding something that's a new concept that is completely foreign to you, but you're supposed to sound smart about it when you're presenting. So that's why PACE talks a lot about, it's okay, I'd be happy to put on a 3-way Zoom and let's talk through it. Something I don't think we've been doing as much. I don't know, these agents we've been talking to are a little bit different this go around. We haven't talked a lot of story, right? Now imagine if you were telling, I don't know, throw my name in there, I don't know. Yeah, Ingrid had this problem too recently. She's an agent here in Arizona, and she could not sell this listing. So what I did is I hopped on a Zoom with her and her seller. We talked through how we were able to hold, that mortgage for them. We gave her a credibility package so she know that we were not a fly-by-night investor. And then we were able to get her seller moved on and on their merry way while we were able to hold down the fort on their property here. Now you're deflecting from yourself to some extent, and you're able to show some credibility through story. Storytelling is how we sell. So, sorry.
No worries. My name's Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, what's up? So I wanted to point out one of the concerns that agent had was, how is that seller going to be able to qualify for another loan if they already have a loan out? And I think Casey responded to it, but I don't think he accepted or believed it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's actually where storytelling would be awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah, where you give an example of
Yeah.
here, there was an individual, I bought their home, I took over their mortgage, and because I showed that I was making the payment, it came off of their DTI. And
Yeah.
they just want to hear that it comes off.
Yeah.
That's what they're really looking to
Yeah.
is show me the mechanism where it comes off.
Yep.
So, and if you do that through what Ingrid's saying, through story, through example, then it hits home even better. So, great call there. Great call out. I think you're right. I do believe that. I don't think he understood or bought it, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he bought it on that side. So, so there was work we could do with how we present that, of course, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was asking, if you heard, I asked, do you own any rentals? And again, it was a shot in the dark. But if he would have said yes, my sort of walking through
That
is
guy own a rental? Give me a break.
yeah. But if he would have said yes, I'd have been like, hey, I have rentals, and when my tenant pays my mortgage, that doesn't count against my DTI. That's kind of the way I walk him through it. But that's a way better.
Yeah, because you were asking him to be the example when you could have brought the example to the table.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is the swap, right?
Yeah.
I think I might be able to grab
All
my
right.
315.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hit it.
Oh, your 315 is calling
Yeah, she
now?
texted me back.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
Let's
right.
see if she'll get on
Cool,
the
you'll
line.
make me late, but that's cool. Yeah.
This is Eunice.
Hey, Eunice, how we doing? This is Matt. Can you
good.
hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I sure can. It sounds like we're doing some. I hear some fun people in the background.
Yeah, I'm a real estate agent. I'm always working.
I love it, girl. Me too. 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. So I'll try not to eat up your whole day then. I'm running between appointments myself. The property on Mount Vernon, it's really cute, ton of potential. I feel like I'm missing something. We've been on the market for damn near a year. I looked into county records. It's yours, so talk to me. How did we get here?
I'm not going to go any lower. I've just been waiting. I've been getting dozens of calls, dozens of lowball offers, and I'm just not interested in them.
Oh yeah, no, look, I don't even know if this is a good fit for my portfolio. Right now, what I want to understand is what your intention was with the property, because maybe I can pick up where you left off.
It is the neighborhood is completely being redeveloped with all of the McMansions and the duplexes and triplexes. So
love
you
it.
could build 3 units. It's a third of an acre, maybe 4 units. I'm not sure. You'd have to verify. So ultimately, those multi-unit properties go for $800,000 a piece.
Sounds like you might have bought this one as an investment then.
Always.
Always. I love it. Okay, so Eunice, you bought it in cash, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Why are we selling? Why not tear this house
Because
down?
I have another house that I want to buy, and I hate the McMansions. I don't want to live around them.
I hear that. Yeah, you've probably got Elon up the street, right?
Yep. I don't like any of that. So
Well, you know, I'm not.
I like South Austin.
Yeah, I hear that. So I own a couple of doors in Kyle and Buda. Austin Metro is a little bit less familiar to me, but I'm in a position right now where I have the cash reserves to get a couple deals done. I have a buddy, his name's Casey, he has a lot of money, and he's looking to lend to me at 12%. So what I'm really looking to do is find a deal in the area where I can add some value, get Casey his return on investment, and then hopefully get out of the deal. So on this one, I know you said you had investors that were berating you with offers. What was the best offer where you at least did a double take?
We've gone under contract twice over a 5.
Whoa.
So we went under contract at 575, and the guy didn't qualify for the mortgage. And we went under contract at 550, and they did not do an inspection. It just fell through. So I would be perfectly happy selling at those prices. But this is my rock bottom. If not, I'll just hold on to it for a few more years.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a motivated seller because the neighborhood is only going up.
Yeah, I mean, investor to investor, if you can keep the house, you and I both know we're in the worst possible market right now. This will be worth at least 10 to 12% more in the next couple of years. But I mean, look, I'm interested. I'm not listening to a deal that's not possible. I feel like there's something here that we can get done. You seem to be a creative individual yourself. I won't hit you with a cash offer. If I were to go to my underwriter, Kyle, and talk about a cash price, I'd probably be in the range of 470 to 480, and given you guys contracted so high, I'm not even gonna go there. Eunice, what do you think of this? What if I flew out to the property, checked it out, and if it's a good fit, we could partner on it. I can do the work, take all the risk when it comes to the development.
No, that's what I do.
So what about that seems like it wouldn't be a good play? Because then you could focus on your next deal, and me and you could partner on this one.
It's not worth the risk. It's
Okay.
not worth the risk. It is as full as this house will be. The floors are redone. The counters are redone.
Okay.
The bathroom is half redone, but it's not worth redoing it more when most people are going to knock this house down and build 3 houses.
Yeah. Well, and obviously
I would
that's.
happily move the house, and I'm selling it at the lot price is what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I looked
Because
into tax value.
I could move that house to my other property and have no problem doing that. I've already got a bid on it.
Love it. Okay, so I mean, you bought it 5 years ago. Have you been sitting on it in this condition and just waiting for the right play, or what's got us to
No,
this
I've
position?
Been fixing it. I found another house I like.
Okay. So this was going to be a primary at one point, and then you're like, you know what? I hate where this neighborhood's going. I don't want to live here anymore.
It is my primary. It's my homestead. Yeah.
Okay, so we're living there now. Okay, Eunice, so I don't want to kick you out of your home, and obviously you love where you live. If I were to structure a deal where I asked you to carry paper for a short amount of time, give me enough debt service potential where I can force appreciation in the asset and then refinance you out, would that be worth the conversation?
No.
Okay, so
I mean, unless you're giving me more than 20% down.
Okay.
But I'm just not interested. It's too much risk. It's not worth it. 50% of those deals fail. And even though I would stay with the house, then I would be in what condition?
It's too much risk? What do you mean by too much risk?
Statistically, owner finance deals fail at a rate of something like 57%.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
So
look, that's possible. I've sold about half my portfolio in the last 3 years on owner finance, so I definitely empathize with having situations where people are defaulting. I think that there's a way where I can give you enough skin in the game where you feel okay. I had this seller.
You can write it up, but you do realize I've had 7 other calls today
Well,
that are very similar to this.
Yeah, I mean, I bet. This is a great asset. It's got a lot of upside. It's why you bought it in the first place. I have something that I think you probably haven't seen today yet. I have a seller. Her name is Phoenix. She actually just moved to Spain with her family. I closed on the property literally on Monday. She had 6 acres in North Carolina. She inherited the house, and she had a really hard time selling it retail because she was asking for more than it was worth. What I was able to do with Phoenix was I structured a transaction where I gave her almost 30% down, and in turn, I asked her to carry paper in second. If we did something like that where you had enough skin in the game to know that I'm serious, would you be willing to have that type of conversation?
Possibly write it up. I mean, I'm tired of the constant just barrage of phone calls.
Well, Eunice, let's be frank, right? What happens if it doesn't sell? Like straight up, right?
I keep it, no problem.
And you're not
There's
servicing debt on it, right?
No.
Okay. So I think this could work. I'm thinking if I put enough money in your pocket, you have enough cash to put a down payment on your new house. We can talk about a seller finance structure that gives me the cash flow to make this happen. I force appreciation, and then maybe I can even pay you a price.
See,
Like you were listed at what, 650?
I don't want to deal with it because I don't want to deal with renters destroying the house.
Well, I'm not looking, you would be the bank, right? Bank of America doesn't get called at 3 a.m. about a toilet issue. So tenants, taxes, toilets, termites, all becomes my problem. What I want to do is I want to get you out of the door and myself into another rental. You were listed at 650. I'm thinking if I give you 150 grand down and I pay you a 650 sales price, which is 140 grand more than you've dropped it down to today, would it be a complete waste of time to see it on paper?
What interest rate are you talking about?
Well, I mean, considering I'm paying 140 grand over, I think we'd have a healthy conversation. But when I go to Wells Fargo,
If I was lending it to you at this rate, the current rate, I would be making more than that for a 3-year note.
well, when I go to Wells Fargo, I don't tell them the terms I'm looking for, so that's where I'm willing to have the conversation with you. But at the end of the day, I'm an investor, you're an investor. We do got to make money on every deal, but I'm not looking to get rich here. So I do think there's common ground. Prime right now is about 6%. If you gave me a 1.5 below that, I think we have a conversation that's worth continuing.
I mean, sure, write it up. I have not been intrigued by this. This is my bare bottom lot price, and I literally will move the house for free. This is, made for a developer to come in and buy the lot from me.
Well, I think the value is that I'm not asking for bare bottom. In fact, I'm asking for what you listed it for in May.
But you're not. But even at that 150 over, that's not what I would be making if I was Wells Fargo lending you that money.
Well, Wells Fargo hasn't been paying the property taxes and insurance on this house for the last year, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I think that there's common ground. I understand that you're not desperate in any position, but I think that there's enough on the bone that we have a skeleton of a transaction, and if you're open-minded to have the conversation, I can have my team put it up in front of you. I appreciate that. Okay, so once I send over the offer, which it'll take probably a day, day and a half, what would be our next step?
I will look at it and think about it.
Okay.
I mean,
Sounds like you have no partners involved, nothing of that nature.
no.
Okay, so just me and you. Eunice, you have been very gracious with your time. I like the house. I appreciate how transparent and forthright you are with me. I think we've got something here. I'll touch base with you, say tomorrow around this time, and hopefully we'll have something that looks good to you.
All right, thanks.
God bless. Bye-bye.
You're so good. Oh my goodness.
He's an Aki.
He's so
He's
good.
acquisitions. Aki.
That woman was hard.
Yeah.
She was super sophisticated and God, like somebody stepped on her toe this morning. Like, what?
All them Subto people are calling her.
Holy
Same thing.
moly! But like, bro, you're the Teflon Don. And she was just firing at him over and over and over and over again, and he was like deflecting them all. And he came back with like a retort that was like just kind of put her in.
Toned her down a little bit.
Toned her down, yeah. It was very well done. Very well done. Guys, that's another master class in how to handle a tough call. God, I get more out of that than I do even mine or Ingrid's where it's going well. I get a lot more from the calls where they're not easy.
Yeah.
Because that gives you the grit. It gives you the tools. It tells you how to navigate that professionally and in a good way. Anyways, just
Appreciate you, brother.
yeah,
Thank
great
you.
job. That was
awesome. Awesome.
Mike's
But
not working.
I think, I don't think she was telling you the whole story. There's something else going on with that house and her. She is sentimentally attached to that house
100%.
or that area, and there's something else going on with it. So, but she's not being forthright with it.
Yeah, I mean, as you develop the relationship with these types of agents, they'll soften up. I think with her, she said that she's been inundated by calls, 7 people just today, and that could be an overstatement, but the reality is The hardest part about my job and all of your guys' jobs is the calls that happened before us, right? So there's been a really poor precedent. She's had her time wasted. And so before she sees me as a legitimate investor, I have to humanize myself. So in the next conversation, once she has something on paper, we can start having a heart-to-heart about what success looks like for her. The best part about creative finance, in my opinion, is the number of levers we have, right? If she cares more about down payment, I came in at 150 grand down. If I get a loan for 75% of the value, I can give her a lot more. If she's really focused on the interest rate, I can work with that too. So that's the value in these types of deals where, yes, she's not excited, but she's willing. And that's really all we're looking for, is to get somebody on the hook. And with this lady, she's been selling it for as long as she has. Fortune's in the follow-up. I'm gonna stay in touch with her. Even if I don't buy this deal, she's somebody who, she may be a shark, but she's the type of shark that gets me more deals in the future.
That's right. That's your lender right there.
Yeah, really. Great question,
Can I
man.
make this? Oh, wait. Somebody asking? Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. The little confusing part is it sounds like she wants to take the house with her. So I don't know if you are planning on renting it, but she might be taking it. It sounded like from
She
her
was in
exit.
her mindset was that there's no play with the house.
Yeah, I mean,
Because in Texas they do move homes quite a bit more than I feel like anywhere else in the country, and so she wants to just take the structure with her, and so I was like, is he gonna rent
that
it?
went
I did
so
catch
far
it, but
over
I-
my head. I'll be honest, I had no clue. But what I did know is that the house is run down. When she said it was her primary, I'll be honest, I was kind of surprised because
Yeah.
the backyard looks crazy.
Yeah.
But the value is the lots. I was looking in the area, and most houses are selling for about $1 million, right?
Yeah.
So there's a play here. I just don't think she's in a position where she needs to. She's been listed for over 300 days.
Yeah.
And so we'll see.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I
appreciate
would have
that,
if I'd known that and the backyard looks crazy, I'd be like, wow, it all makes sense now.
Yeah, it looks bad, bro.
All right. Thank you.
Ingrid, you ready?
Yeah, I'm 15 minutes late,
Okay.
but that was so smooth like butter. Like, hey, no. And I'm calling Houston. I don't know why you didn't get this one.
Oh, I should have traded you.
I know. Well, if she doesn't answer,
There's a couple of Houstons and a couple of Montanas.
Hi, this is Lori Botkin.
and then there's another guy, Ryan, that I could call right now too. Hey-o. Who's got a 4?
I have a 4.
I have 415.
You have a 4 as well?
Hi,
Yeah,
this is
415
Lori
and 430.
Botkin.
Oh, she's not answering. Okay.
Oh my God, you guys hate me?
No. I love you so much. I've been asking you to go buy a co-living with me.
Okay.
All right. Is
Am
it
I
another,
making
another
this-
seller finance one? Is that
No,
what
it's
you're saying?
this one's gonna be so fun. It's
Oh,
5 days on market. Thank you. Thank you guys.
They like to give you a challenge.
Listen,
It's all about
I get it.
relationship. She was mad when I talked.
You know, that one was 300 days on
Who,
market.
this agent?
You never know.
No.
It's like a
What's her name?
wah, wah.
Adamola? Wait. Is it? Come on. What does it say? Adamola. Adamola.
Add a mullet. You were talking about a mullet earlier today.
What are you trying to do here? Oh my God.
Even that guy gets
Hello.
Hey, is this Adamola?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Jamil. I'm calling on Eaglewood. I was supposed to call you a few minutes ago. I apologize.
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine.
So, tell me a little bit about this one. I'm looking for an investment property. I got to buy some stuff for taxes. I don't know if this one's gonna, make a lot of sense, but I know you just listed it. Have you been getting a lot of offers on it? And what do you think is the play on the house? Give me some details.
Like, what details do you need?
What do you think the house could potentially rent for?
Well, the area could rent for anything from 2,500
I don't know. I've not done rental in that area in a while. But anything in that area, at least could rent for like 2,500 and above or something like that.
Okay. Are you getting a ton of calls on it? I mean, the market's super slow right now, and so
Yeah, I have some people calling. People are looking at it.
Okay.
Some offers already came in. I rejected. So
You had an offer already?
some people send some offer which I was rejected because it's not what we're looking at. So
Okay. Would you be able to maybe kind of share with me what you rejected so that I know if I'm going to be in the same ballpark or not?
no, I'm rejecting 250.
Okay.
That's not. It's not going to be what we are looking for.
Okay.
So
So they're really interested in getting their full price or close to it, right?
yeah, because we already is below market value already.
Okay.
When we put it on, so it's below market value because we're selling it as is right now. So and we already know what estimates the cost to do whatever minor repair that needs to be done.
What do you think it's
So-
worth when it's fixed up?
Yeah, at least anything between 340 to 360.
Okay, and any idea how much it's going to cost to get it to that?
How much go? The roof is like 10,000 based on the estimate, and some petty stuff that needs to be done like 5,000. So we're looking at 15,000 because we already got estimate on things that needs to be done. So, but we're not ready to do any repair. We
Okay.
just want to sell it.
Okay, that's fair. I totally get it. Probably not going to work for me right now, which is super fine. I can circle back with you in a couple of weeks, or hopefully you sell this and it's off your table. But
So, but what do you have in mind? You
well,
asked me so many questions.
I'm an investor, right? And so I looked for stuff where I can force some appreciation. I got interested in this because you're right, it is a little bit undervalued, but I don't agree that it's a $15,000 fix-up. I think it's going to be a lot more. Then when I have to sell it,
Have you gone to see the house?
sir, and with all due respect, nothing costs $15,000 these days. It's just,
No, I'm just asking. Have you gone?
I have not gone. I'm not going to waste my time going to see the house until you and I have a conversation, right? And so that's
Why do you say nothing costs 15,000?
because I've done over 7,000 flips. How many have you done?
Excuse me. I've been a licensed agent.
It doesn't matter how long you've held a license. How many flips have you done?
So are you calling me to argue? Because I don't understand the essence of this. You've not gone to clean the house and you are calling me to question me. I don't understand that.
Well, most real estate agents answer questions for their clients, which is what you're supposed to be doing right now.
So I've not answered your question. I told you the estimate will go to fix the place, and you still argue.
And I'm saying to you that I don't think that that's going to work, and you're getting upset.
I'm not getting upset. If it's not going to work for you, then why are you telling me it's not? Because that's the estimate will go to.
So what would you like me to say? I think you're full of shit? Would you like me to say it that way? Because I could say that. That's not the case. I'm telling you that your estimates are low. So, in time, there could be a deal here, but it's not going to work if you, first of all, come in with the attitude that you have, right? We can start over again if you want, but it's not going to work if you're yelling.
Oh, who is yelling? Am I yelling?
You were.
Wow.
You were very much yelling.
Yelling?
Yes, you were very much yelling. And you're not yelling now, but you were. And I don't think your clients would be really happy to hear how you're talking to their prospective buyers, if I'm being honest.
Sir, if you're a prospective buyer, you send in offer, you're not going to be asking questions and telling me.
Yes, I would be asking questions. That's what people do when they call to talk about houses.
Hello, if you want to ask questions, you have to go there, look at the house before you know whether what the agent is saying is correct or not.
No, I don't. I call to ask questions to see if there's a reason for me to spend my time to take my contractors to get a bid, because that's how business is done. This isn't Mickey Mouse. I'm not going to pull my teams off of another job to come and check your math. That's not how it's done. That's why I call and ask questions. Do you understand?
Are you
Do you?
interested in the property?
I am interested in the property, but I'm not interested in you.
Then send the offer if you are interested.
Sir, I would be happy to, listen, I would be happy to have a conversation with the owners of this house, possibly even your broker, but the way that you're approaching this is not appropriate. And he hung up. I mean, I don't think that's clap worthy, to be honest with you. That didn't go very well.
That was my favorite one.
But
That's
reality.
real. That's real.
But reality is, you know, I'm asking him questions about the condition of the home, right? He doesn't seem to have the answers. And when I explained to him why I don't think his answers are real, he got defensive. And he started raising his voice.
Yeah, yeah,
And so I checked him on it.
yeah.
You know, and it is what it is, right? It's and here's the reality. Would I still call that house back? Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. This guy is not selling this house in any short order, in any short time. There is no $250,000 rejected offer. It's not possible, right? And so how I would approach this one is I would diarize to call this guy back probably within 30 days because I don't think the house is going to sell between now and 30 days, and I'd try again. I think that his entire approach will be completely different at that time, but maybe not. You know, maybe he's just that kind of person. And sometimes you just kind of keep it pushing, right? You're going to be talking to a guy that's just like that, and it is what it is. So, fun. I don't think that's the way to go because he's probably like on edge too, and I don't want to harass the guy and like turn it into. It could be fun for you two, but I don't necessarily. I don't want to antagonize the guy, right? Like at some level he's going through something that has him in that kind of energy as well, right? So it is what it is. Right, I don't want to keep badgering him or give him an ulcer today, but yeah, I will personally probably in like 30 days circle back and see what happens. Yeah, easy. Yeah, but guys, that's gonna happen. You're gonna run into calls that are like that, and sometimes it's gonna get under your skin. It definitely got under mine. I don't have the same Tai Chi that these guys have. Anyways.
That was fun. That was fun.
Gilbert.
Sorry, Gilbert.
No, that was for you.
What?
That you get mean callers sometimes.
Oh yeah. You're gonna get a total hard call, right? And that's guys just not interested in having a conversation. Because the truth be told, like nothing happens in 15 grand in reality in real estate these days. It just doesn't exist. And so I was trying to say that to him, like, I'm sorry, sir, but with all due respect, nothing happens in $15,000. When's the last time you flipped a house? And he does the same line that real estate agents do. I've had my license for how many? It doesn't matter. How many houses have you flipped? When's the last time you've gotten a bid on something, right? Anyways.
15,000 is an AC unit.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a perspective.
All right, on to the next. That was fun.
Okay, so who had the next one?
I have a 415. It's pending, but I'm still down to call it. If you got one, go ahead.
I had one that's earlier, if you're okay.
Yeah.
I think
Kill
it's
it.
a deal, guys.
All
Should we
right.
get a deal? All right. All right, let's get a deal today.
What did Lisa's daughter say the other day? Like, go get deals or something?
Oh yeah, heck
Go
yeah.
get deals.
Working on it. How many of you are trying to move to Arizona now that you have?
Nah, Texas.
Texas? Okay, well, let's see. Montana? Montana!
Hey, good, how's it going?
Hey, Ryan. Thanks for texting me about this property in Casa Grande.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about the seller situation on this Coco. Is it Coco?
Yeah, Coco. This one's a divorce situation. It's in the process of becoming vacant, but it's not vacant currently. It needs some cosmetic repairs.
Like what?
Probably carpet and paint mainly. A few drywall issues, but
What do you think? $15,000 worth?
I would estimate less than that. Probably 5 to 10. It really needs carpet and paint, but that's the main things.
How many square feet is this house?
About 3,300.
What? All right. When's the last time you put carpet and paint in a house?
2 years ago.
Oh, all right. Good job. I'm just thinking through what this bid would look like.
I've gotten the paint around $1.50 a foot, and then carpet around a few dollars, $2 a foot.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why I was like 10K.
All right. 10K. Okay, cool. Good to know. Nobody likes carpet in their rentals though. It's so gross. I hate carpet. But
No, of course not. It's all only upstairs, so yeah. So it's like half of it's carpet.
oh, that makes sense. So all the carpet is upstairs.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's good to know because it's such a big house. And every time I flipped a house or anything like that, especially 3,000 square feet, that just adds up really fast. So, okay, good to know.
Yeah, and I would probably say more of the carpet or more of the paint is mainly upstairs as well. It's just heavy lived in with pets and kids.
Oh, okay. I know, pets and kids. Who needs those kids? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we have, and then your asking price was $375. Is that right?
That's correct.
And then the loan balance is what?
I want to say I just sent you yesterday 339 to 340, and they're 10K behind at the moment.
They're 10,000 behind.
Correct.
But you guys haven't been able to sell at 375, right?
Correct.
So if we were to catch up their arrears, would they be expecting anything else beyond that?
I think they're all ready to walk away.
Okay, they're ready to walk away. And then do you know what this property would rent for?
I'll be honest, I intended to do the comps yesterday and I did not get to it.
Oh, okay.
My guess is high twos, but I will say I'm not as invested in the Casa Grande market for rentals at the moment.
The Casa Grande market, you don't, okay. I'll ask my buddy Drew, he runs a property management company, and then I'll confirm. Okay. So if we were to give the sellers the 10K in arrears, and then what do you think that you would be okay walking away with as well?
Number I had in mind for me was 2,500. I'll probably put at least $1,000 just into the listing. I fully paid for cleaning and then obviously marketing and photos.
Okay, 2,500.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's very gracious of you. I know it's probably a pain in the butt when you've had to do a couple of things for the sellers, so commend you for that. Okay, cool. So if okay, well, let me go run numbers. I know Jamil said he needs like 2 or 3 more houses to mitigate his taxes. I mean, that guy is Mr. Moneybags. So let me see if I could maybe sell this property over there or over to him, and then see if maybe we could step forward. Now, you said this is a divorce situation, so are we going to struggle with them signing this contract, or are they familiar enough, or do I need to jump on a Zoom and kind of explain to them what this looks like?
I think they probably want me to be involved and want my input, so, kind of be their representative in a sense, since I sold them this home.
Oh, okay.
But they're both on board with whatever we need to do to get them out of it.
Okay. Because obviously right now their credit's probably being ruined, and they'd rather fix that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then you said that they're not fully vacated, so do they need a rental then?
The wife is already in a rental. The husband is not out, but all the kids and the dog and everyone else is out. So there's just one person left in there, and they're cleaning up belongings and stuff like that.
Got it. And does he know what he's doing? Staying with family, friends, something?
I don't think he's figured it out yet, but I think he would be going for a rental.
He would need a rental. Okay. Would he do co-living and rent a room?
You know what? We haven't gone into those specifics, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay. just keeping my options open and seeing if maybe, my co-living buddy, Jamil, whether, he rents a lot of room or houses that are rent by room. So in case we needed to help him out and get him a place to stay before. Because the last thing we want is get to the closing table and the seller can't leave. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll look to see where those rent rates are. Are they looking to stay in Casa Grande, or are they looking to move to like Phoenix, or what's the plan there? Do you know?
Ex-wife is already out and living with family, so she's not a problem. Husband, I think he works in Phoenix, so I think he's totally fine anywhere.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure we solve all the problems so that they don't sneak up on us at closing table.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Well, Ryan, let me go have this contract sent then, because I don't see why we wouldn't be able to move this, especially for a family who would like to stay there, so, and live there with their family. Okay, cool. All right, Ryan, thanks so much, and I'll get back to you, okay?
Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate it.
thanks. Okay, bye-bye. So Ryan and I were texting.
Okay.
That's why there was a lot of information
there?
exchange.
Okay.
Yeah. So I told him that I would call him this afternoon.
Is that the co-living deal that you want to talk to me about?
No, I have
Okay.
a different co-living in South
Ah,
Phoenix.
okay.
Yeah. No, this is a 5-bedroom, 2.5 bath
Where is it?
in Casa Grande. Do you know what's funny though? Their rental market's pretty good down there.
Really?
Yeah. So,
But are they short on inventory? Market
okay.
could be good, but is it? Are they short on affordability? Is
Yeah.
the issue? That's what makes the co-living make sense, right? But
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And I've had a few friends who actually did house hacking, and they did the rent by room.
Yep.
Because Casa Grande was short on properties
they
like
were,
that.
okay.
And they had a lot of workers coming down there when they were getting, what's that electrical company?
They're
Par-
doing like
Rivian, and is it Rivian?
I know there's a ton of big industry moving there, or
There
building
is.
building plants there. So it's like a 5-10 year play. I think Casa Grande becomes one of Arizona's premier markets at that time, because they're doing the smart city out there. They've got a big microchip plant that they're building out there as well. And wasn't Bill Gates doing something down there as well? That, to my knowledge, I don't
I thought it was by a 303.
was that Buckeye? Okay, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We sent an offer on this one. I have his mortgage statement.
Yeah?
Yeah, my acquisitions guy Paul was following up on this guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ryan Lefkowitz or
Yeah. Really tough last name.
Yeah, definitely a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.99 rate. It won't cash flow LTR, but midterm and short-term numbers look good. Co-living looks like it'd be pretty fantastic as well. Entry isn't very high.
It's HOA though. Yeah. So co-living. The only way I can see it work on So I have a behavioral health group home operator that does a lot of properties in Maricopa, and he was actually asking me about Casa Grande. So I'd like to bring this up to him because it's a low entry, so we could wholesale it to him. And he helps adolescents. So he has kids that he does group homes for. Because, I know we mostly focus on sober living, but they actually have group homes for kids too. But he has to have 24-hour staff because they can't go unsupervised. So I actually think this might be a really great opportunity for him because it's a 5-bedroom, 2.5 bath. I have to go look it up to see whether or not it has a loft. I know it has a living room and a family room, which means he could add even more rooms if he needed to. But 3,300 square feet is a big house. So, yesterday we talked about divorcing couples and how could you get them to be on the same page about creative financing. See, the more we educate our agents about creative financing, like they get to a point there's enough pain where they say, fine, just do it. And that's an example of that. All right.
Can I share a quick, got a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Next 4:30. Okay, so where's Jeremy? Jeremy out there? Jeremy booked a lead. There he is. Jeremy was booking. You were booking a bunch of leads today. So he did a great job. I want to share. So this lead, I think it's a deal. I want to share it with Ingrid and everybody. So this was one of the last ones I did before I walked in here. It's here in Phoenix, okay, I'll pull it up. It's
just the zip code.
Yeah.
By the way, because you're on public.
Okay. Yep. 85212 in Mesa. Okay, so the funny thing is I got on there, and as you can see, my style is like they get hounded with these offers. I'm like, I always break the ice with, hey, you probably got this offer already, have you? She's like, yeah, we don't want to do that. And so I kept talking, asking questions, and then I'm like, well, how much do they owe? And they're listed at $625, and she's like, they owe like $600. And I'm like, okay, wait, because she's like, it doesn't work. Seller finance doesn't work. I'm like, that's perfect. Like, they're probably going to walk away with no money, right? With the $25,000, it's like, how much are you getting in commission? She's like, 3%. So it's like, with closing costs, they're probably not getting anything. I'm like, so I kept talking, and I'm like, well, what if we could get them maybe $5,000 to like walk away from this thing and move on? And she's like, I think they'd be open to that. So anyway, this one is straight Subto. We would just have to pay the agent and pay potentially $5,000.
I love it. That's a great one.
And then she said, did I get the...
It's not cash flowing though, right?
Yeah, I don't think so, but potentially a wrap.
So for those, we'll put like on nobankloanhomes.com, where we do try to market to 1099 home buyers, people who are business owners like Jamil covered earlier, or people who have ITINs. So ITIN buyers are people who are here mostly working, but they've been identified, right? So they're I would call them partially documented. They're not full residency yet, but they're paying taxes. And so there have been some loan products that are no longer available to them. So they're even more motivated to buy in a creative way. So, my guy.
Oh, hold on just a
I think.
Sorry, they had a question too.
Oh, Jeremy had a question. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to also nominate Jeremy because he struck up this amazing deal in Alaska. I don't think he has struck up he has this amazing deal all of a sudden going in Alaska that he did last night or this morning. Last night. So I think he was really inspired by, of course, you all and hearing your verbiage because he applied that. And maybe if we have time, we can hear what he struck up because it's like, wow, if it really comes to fruition, it was really bold of him to present that. And today's his birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Tell your mom I said happy birthday to you.
I will. Oh,
So share your deal.
It's a deal that was started as a fix and flip in Fairbanks, back where I live. And the deal was they've had it on the market for, I think, 175 days. And I talked to an agent about it prior, and it was kind of like, we don't want to move, we don't want to budge. And I keep watching the price drop and drop and drop. So I think it was yesterday I reached out to the agent and said, hey, I see the price is dropping and you guys are at 175 days, like you're getting pretty close to the wire. Tell me the story. And I was driving back to the Airbnb and I struck up a conversation with the agent, and some of your guys' tactics, to just kind of soften that agent, I was like, blah, blah, next thing we were best friends.
But we'll get to the price.
Anyway, so the story is it was listed at $252,000. It's been gutted. It was a freeze up. So the house is ruined. It's like, and it has some not
An
quite
Alaskan hazard.
Yeah, so all the plumbing, they've gone in there and they gutted the place. Plumbing hasn't been gutted yet, but all the walls are exposed, everything's open. They bought a bunch of supplies, a bunch of stuff to start going in and doing it, and the issue was that they ran out of money. So they bought it to fix and flip, and they actually moved to Fairbanks to do this fix and flip, and they went, oh shit, we're in trouble. And so what I did, I said, hey, I kind of want to help you. I've been learning all these different ways to, create a finance. And they're like, oh yeah, they're totally open to stuff. And I talked to the agent. So I said, hey, I know you're kind of at the 250 range, but here's the deal. I said, I want to get in there. I want to complete the fix and flip. I live in Fairbanks. I'm a local. I said, I'm going to just throw you an idea here. And so I actually offered them $150,000. I wanted the seller to carry the note, 0% interest, 0 payments for 2 years so that I had time to flip it. And I said what I would do is I would pay the full asking price, but after the flip, I would split the profit with them. So I'd do a 70-30 split. And actually this morning I got an email back from the agent. They're like, yeah, we're down.
Yeah, nice job. That's right.
Just swung for the fences, and I did not expect it to go anywhere. And I was like, holy crap. So,
Yeah, and so it's a free and clear property then?
yeah, they had bought it cash.
My only, when you're doing title stuff, make sure that they sign an affidavit that they have no mechanical liens or any outstanding GC liens, because if they're in the middle of flipping, that's when, like, so I just recently bought a flip that I owned with my partner at the time, and I had to buy it from ourselves, and the title company had to do an inspection. I never knew title companies did inspections. I was like,
only when it's in the middle of construction.
Right.
I just learned that. Like, I'm constantly learning too, right? And they had to have him and me sign that we have no outstanding liens or mechanical, because if they come back and there was one during the time we owned, then the title company can't be held liable because they did everything they could to find out.
Well, they did already have an inspection done, and their issue was they were gonna get GCs involved, and nobody showed up.
Yeah, sounds
So
about
they've
Alaskan.
got
Just kidding.
nothing.
Yeah, well, good luck. Good luck with that.
So-
Awesome, cool, good job, congrats. I think we're running a little bit out of
Yeah.
time. Is it okay if we can come back to your question a little bit later?
We got a
Okay, cool.
4:30 call somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm gonna try my 4:15 first, and then we'll hit my 4:30.
Okay.
This one's interesting because it says it's pending on
This
Zoom.
one's for Elizabeth on YouTube, who is a big fan of Matthew.
Shout out Elizabeth. I
Oh,
appreciate
snap. We only like fans in the form of PMLs.
you. Hey, Mike, what's going on? This is Matt calling about the Amberwood property.
Yeah, the guy that I talked to yesterday asked about that, and I told him that it's not available. That home is under contract, and we're down the road with our escrow. But then I mentioned to him, because he asked if I had any other properties, and I said, yes, there is another property, and I texted him the address for that.
Okay, the one in Gilbert?
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll focus on that one here in just a second. But talk to me about Amberwood, because I was looking at it, I'm in need of depreciation, and I wanted to be a backup offer, but it sounds like you guys are through the inspection period at this point?
We're in the inspection period.
Okay. Are you guys working with a retail buyer on that?
Yes.
Okay, nice. Are they going FHA?
Yes.
Okay, reason why I ask, I have a flip going on right now, and I've had 2 retail buyers fall through at the same time last month, so I've been sitting on the market for a little while now. You think it'd be a waste of my time if my team underwrote the deal and threw you guys a backup on it?
I don't think it'd be a waste of time.
Okay.
It's always good to have one.
Yeah, I appreciate the openness to that. So I see the one on Seneca. Tell me a little bit about it.
This is another one of the same seller at Amberwood. He's an investor, and he's selling off his rentals slowly over, as leases expire and that kind of thing.
Okay.
A much bigger home, obviously. I don't know if you pulled it up.
Yeah,
but
I've got it
it's-
pulled up here.
Yeah, so it's a much bigger 2-story, 0 lot line property.
Uh-huh.
It's been a rental, so it shows its age and condition. It does have a new AC, newer. We put one in a couple years ago.
Okay. You say we, so it sounds like this has been a repeat client for you then, Mike.
He's my number one. Yeah.
Number 1, wow. Well, God willing, I can be number 2 then. So, our friend's been selling off his rentals. There's only 2 situations where that happens. Either we're of age and we're no longer looking to be in the landlord space, we're tired of 3 a.m. calls, or we're doing a 1031 into a bigger asset. What are we doing here?
He's retiring
Retiring. Okay.
and moving to California. So
Ooh.
I manage the property, so he's never bothered at night. I'm the one who's bothered at night.
Well,
But I help them buy all these homes, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna help them sell them.
Okay, so this one he's owned for about 7-8 years. I'm looking at tax records now. He's probably got some debt on it. You know what's going on there?
I do not. That part of it, I never really get too involved with.
That's fair. That's fair. I
But
mean,
he's in partnership with another guy on that one. So
okay, so him and the partner, they're looking to liquidate this one?
yeah, the Seneca one.
Yep.
Now we're not getting any action over there, so I just started it as a rental listing as well.
What are you guys leasing it up for?
2,400.
Is that market, or are you guys trying to get it filled up as fast as possible?
That is right in the middle of, there's higher rented ones out there, lower ones.
Okay.
We're right in the middle, but
I mean, you guys.
Aim high.
So you guys just threw this one on MLS. You've got decent views virtually, but you threw out that there's not a lot of action. What's been the feedback? Why have families said no to this one?
Families haven't even looked at it.
Oh,
so,
my word.
We're kind of new to the market on that one. I think we're only
2 weeks.
like maybe 10 days into it now.
Yep.
So, but I got a sense, I'm in tune with how fast I should expect showings, at least based on the Amberwood listing and other information I get. And I just didn't get anything. Nobody was looking at it. There's a lot of that same floor plan on the market over there in that part of Power Ranch. And, they're going to pick the freshly redone homes first, and then work their way down to me and him. And I think he does have a loan on it, and that's why, he needs an offsetting rent payment so that he doesn't pay out of pocket for any too long of a time.
That makes sense. Have you guys had a conversation about what would happen if you guys didn't get it sold in the next 30 days? I know you have it listed for rent. Sounds like him and the partner are okay with staying involved in this one.
Yeah, they would. If it doesn't sell, we'll leave it on as both resale and rental, and whichever kind of deal we get first, we'll drop the other one and go that route for another year. It's a rental. He's fine with it.
Yeah. I mean, look, it services debt. It doesn't look like he owes a lot. As you and I were talking, I pulled up some data here, and it looks like he doesn't have a huge balance on the property. So he'd be in a good spot renting it at $2,400. Okay. So you're working directly with him, or are you speaking to the partner as well?
Both of them.
Both of them.
They're both,
okay.
both my number one.
Understood. Oh, 2 for 1, man. You're killing it then.
2, yes. Yes.
Love it. Okay. So with this one, obviously I'm looking at it as an investment property. If they're already leasing it up, it sounds like I'd be able to get a tenant in on day one. If I wanted to get top market value and bring you on as my property manager, Mike, what do you think I would have to do to get it to just 2025 shape, turnkey standard?
What would you have to do to modify the property to get it there?
Would there be any updates you would recommend given your experience with the asset?
I would probably put new flooring in the kitchen. It's tile, and the grout is all in bad shape. Maybe you can just re-grout it.
Okay.
We did just put carpet in the downstairs bedroom and living room. So that's done. And I am getting out of the property management business. So if it's something that you want to do in that direction, I wouldn't be around to do that. Obviously these guys have a lot of homes to sell, and I'm going to be there for them. And then I'm Social Security age, so I'm looking to take that next step.
Sounds like you really care about these guys then.
I do.
Love that. Okay. When I work with a few of my realtors out in San Antonio, they love me over there, so they give me discounts on my commissions. Are these guys getting a good deal out of you, brother?
They're getting a good deal out of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to make sure that you get paid on this deal and spend as little time as possible. If they've got more doors in the area, I'm actively buying. I'm in escrow right now on 7. So I can provide you all the credibility, connect you to realtors, property managers, all the people that lend to me. So that won't be an issue, but I do need to make money on this property. And so I can buy the property in a few different frames. Initially, I'm looking at it as an all-cash sale. I met with my DSCR lender last week, and he told me I can get probably 6.5 on the interest rate, which is not bad, but it's not COVID time where I was getting loans at 2 and 3%. So if I did go cash, and you're probably going to hate me for this. I mean, you might even want to hang up. I'll be honest.
I have no emotion about it. It's just numbers to me.
Okay, I love
and
it.
I get to all I have to do is communicate. So I don't have to feel like I'm, losing my head. So don't worry about me.
I love it, Mike. Well, hopefully I don't piss your client off with this then. I'm thinking in cash, I'd probably be at 390, maybe 410.
Okay.
Do you think that would be a waste of time to get in writing?
Well, I would at least you don't have to put it into a purchase contract. Just send me an email.
Okay.
Say, hey, this is, per our discussion. Just want to follow up or whatever. Here's my number.
Sure.
Let me know what the sellers or what the owners want to do, and
I'll take it from there.
Love it. And you know these guys really well, right? You guys have a working relationship for, it sounds like, more time than I've been alive. If I were to ask them to be upgraded, you know, maybe they're tired of being landlords, they're tired of what that means, and turn this into a long-term investment vehicle, maybe have their grandkids, have some recurring mailbox money. Do you think it would make sense for me to send an offer where I'm asking them to finance some of the sale?
Seller financing?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I think that could be a good way for us to get it done.
Yeah, I don't think they want to get involved with that.
Sounds like they might have had a bad experience.
Well, they're not that in the business. I mean, they are, I am their face to the whole thing. I help them buy them all. I've been managing them all. I find the tenants. I select the tenants. I manage all the issues.
Yeah.
They pay the bills.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when an invoice comes in for a new refrigerator, I send it to them and they pay it. So,
So I mean, they like the cash flow, right? They've owned this for.
that's what they like, and the appreciation they've seen over the years.
So if I could build in some appreciation, maybe buy it for more than it's even worth today, and they could continue to yield the benefit of the cash flow, what would stop us from taking a seller finance offer a little more seriously?
I've never really gone there with them with that. I would say put some terms in that email, and I'm not that experienced with this kind of investing either, to be honest.
Oh, I hear that. Okay. Well, Mike, I have to say, most real estate agents I work with, if they haven't done it, they shut down entirely. So I want to say that you're an incredible human being, and there is value in learning these strategies in your business. Obviously, you've been in the space for a long time. But I can say from my perspective in my fix and flip business, seller financing has helped me get out of deals that I would have been stuck in losing cash month over month over month. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Awesome. So I think we should do this. Your guys are obviously not super involved in the business, and you're the main point of contact. I'd like to present you guys a cash offer for sure, but I'd also like to put something together where they're financing some of their equity. Once you guys get that offer, respond to me, let me know that you've got it. I'd love to schedule an appointment where we can sit down collectively, talk about all the doors that you guys are looking to offload, and maybe I can be of service and help you guys knock out more than one in one swing.
Would you be open to buying some that have tenants in them?
Oh, that's my dream scenario, brother. What are we talking about? No turnover.
Okay. Well, that's been a hiccup for us. We've had filled rentals sit, on the market for the full 6 months of my listing term, and then
so you can't do any showings.
Yeah, and the tenant doesn't know about it. I don't disclose that to them. I don't want to spook them.
I hear that.
Yeah, so not even so much as a showing. If it ever got to the point where I had an investor call me and say, like to see the house and maybe write an offer, that is the time I would need to call the tenant and say, hey, this is what's happening. And then, keep them calm, but, let them know that if nothing changes for them, the new lease or the new owner would need to honor the lease as is, and they're good. And they would understand it, at least on that one. But we're not currently listing any filled rentals at this time. But
So how many doors does your guy have in general in the area?
I seem to recall he's at about 18, I think.
And over the next 12, 18 months, is he looking to liquidate the entire portfolio?
I don't know if he would do all of them in that short of amount of time, but eventually, yes, all of them need to be sold for him to be able to move on.
Okay. Mike, I have to say, this could be an opportunity for you to make a lot of money on commissions. I don't gouge my agents, so anything that I end up closing on, I'll make sure that you get compensated a full 3%. I'd love for you to be an advocate for us to have a conversation on seller financing. It doesn't need to go that route, but it always does pencil better, especially in the market that we're in today. But I'd love to get some offers over on this Seneca property. In the meantime, if you can do me a favor and send me a list of the inventory that you're managing and you think he'd be open to selling, tenant involved or not, I'm active. And once I send you guys over some information on my organization, I think we can have a healthy conversation. I'm in town for about a week. So if you wanted to meet up, grab some coffee, we can have a conversation about what I can do and how we can accomplish as much as possible for your clients out in California.
Sounds good. I'm open to all of that.
Marvelous. Mike, you've been immensely gracious with your time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot you a text message with my best email and phone number. And from there, I'd love to have a recurring conversation. We'll get started with Seneca. But ideally, by the end of the year, me and you can knock out 3 or 4 of these.
Okay, and you're going to send me that email
Absolutely.
with the offer numbers?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll have my
All right.
assistant do it.
I'll look for that.
Marvelous. All right, brother. Well, God bless you. Wishing you a marvelous remainder of your evening, and I look forward to having this follow-up conversation real soon.
All right, thanks for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Hey, are those properties here in Arizona?
All AZ.
Oh my God. One thing I wish I could have texted you.
Yeah.
You guys got to make sure you blink him. So I have a partner who has a property management company here. So if he's also retiring, unless this is whole portfolio.
Let's buy his whole business?
Buy his business, bro.
Dude, I like it. Let's
So
go.
now
I'm
you're
gonna-
teaching him about seller financing,
and
how to
LBO?
mitigate his risk, how to mitigate his capital gains, is what I meant to say. Now you might be able to actually. Oh, why are you looking at me like
No,
that?
no, I'm just, my head's spinning just listening.
Oh,
Yeah.
my wheels are turning right now, girl.
Bro, yeah.
I love it.
Now you got to pitch him Sellerfi on
All
his
day.
property management
All
company.
day.
So there's so many. First of all, Zoom, YouTube, you guys just watched. Like this could potentially be, and all of you in the room, obviously, this could potentially be anywhere from like a $300,000 opportunity for Matthew up to like $1 million,
Yeah.
depending on how this gets played out, right? So that's a massive, 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 massive play.
Let me buy 1 or 2 of them.
Let's do it, girl. Let's partner on
Let's
them.
kind of break down. What's your initial strategy here, Matt? How do you want to do this? Would you take a few of these? Would you want to give them one large offer on the whole portfolio? Are you thinking cash? Are you thinking a hybrid, some cash, some creative? How do you want to structure that?
Honestly, I'm not in a space where a portfolio deal makes sense, and it doesn't look like that solves the seller's problem.
I'm in a space where a portfolio
So, I
deal
mean,
makes
we could
sense.
talk then.
Yeah.
Me too.
But where my head's at is if I can anchor them deep enough on cash, they're obviously in a position where they have healthy equity on all of their doors over the last decade. We can build in some of that on a cash offer, anchor them deep, and then from there I'm looking to get terms. Most of them do have debt attached on the properties, but I think that this guy's really open-minded and clearly no experience. I love to educate, so we can hop on a couple of Zooms. While I'm out here, my goal is going to be to meet with them and start breaking some of this down. It's going to be
Yeah. Yeah.
Really,
Really.
really great. That's phenomenal. And it's like this is a thing I think we should really take home with us, is that's like the deal of a lifetime almost, right? Who would say that? Like that's like a deal of a lifetime. If you think that's a deal of a lifetime, let me see. Okay, guess how often that comes around? Every week. Not for real. You will find incredible opportunities all the freaking time. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up. It's about shaking off a hard call, getting back on the call, and taking on the next one. And that's exactly what we're watching happen here, right? Fantastic.
Thank you.
You have the next call as well right
I
now?
do, I
Okay,
do.
let's get it.
And
Go.
that was your one that was pending, right?
Yeah, that was the one that
So
was
good
pending.
point of like, don't. No,
Call every lead. That's
what
a really
if he
good
hadn't
point.
called the pending? And he said, "Let me be your plan B."
Whoa. That's right, because initially that was a pending deal, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Which could still fall apart, but like if he hadn't have done that, and Isaiah, you brought up that the other house, guys. This is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So what did we learn? It's never about the house. It's always about the relationship, right? And so it doesn't matter if like what we're looking at right now doesn't make any sense. Cool, pivot, move on.
Yep.
Move on to the next thing. Yes.
I just got told that who's Sean? You hung up on this guy at first when you called him, is what I was told, and your team encouraged you to call
No,
him back.
I didn't finish asking all the questions when I first called him. So I called him back. And the property was wrong, Sean.
this particular guy called, the property was no longer on the market.
I think it's a different call, Sean.
Yeah, it is. It's a different call.
First I thought it was yours, but then I was like, this looks like a multi-unit
The-
complex.
right. The guy put me onto a
But he
multi-family.
did. Sean like hung up, and we're on the same team. He hung up because the guy was like, "Oh, we're already under contract." But we're like, call him back, the relationship, and he did. And there was like a multi-unit building.
Yeah, multi-family in the same zip
And
code.
he texted him the information.
Casey called this morning.
So don't assume.
Yeah, never assume. That's just
Don't assume.
He was like moving on,
Yep.
and so he did, right? Just brilliant, so good. Yes.
I was just gonna say exactly what y'all were doing yesterday, like when there was like when they said no to the properties. That's when I saw it was pending. I just did exactly what y'all said, and I just asked if they had any more.
Yep.
And he gave me that one, and I just figured that you could do something with it. So I just
Dude, yeah, absolutely. Great work, bro. I think the reality is that real estate agents becomes our arms and legs, right? I live in Los Angeles. Odds are I'm never going to see this guy, but now he's actively marketing. He's basically on my team working for me. Imagine if you have 10 or 12 realtors that know you by name and know what you do. You never have to make another cold call again. So great work, bro. Seriously, thank you.
Yeah, right
All
on.
right. Okay, you've got a call right now.
Yeah,
You're 6 minutes late.
Yeah, I'm a little bit
I don't
late.
think it matters to Matthew though.
Star Beezy.
You should have texted this guy, so I don't blow this though. I'll be my underwriting operator.
Is this your 4:30?
Yeah, this is my
And
4:30.
you got 4:45.
I have a 5.
You have 4:45?
I got a 4:45. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's right. So it's my call.
No, this guy told me not to call him, so this is gonna be fun.
This is Matt.
Hey Matt, what's going on? It's Matt. How we doing today, brother?
Good.
Appreciate it. Sounds like I caught you at a bad time.
Oh, you're good.
Good deal. Good deal. I appreciate that. So I shot you a text letting you know that I was interested in that property on Equestrian Trail. Really cute door, but clearly price action's not working with you guys. What's been the biggest variable to getting this one sold?
Well, I mean, all the offers have been the 600,000 range, and that's not going to happen with my clients. I mean, I know we all when things work, but
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's worth more than what people are offering. So, I mean, they've all been obviously like you. They've all been investors, you know, and we get that part. But
Yeah.
you know, I mean, we know we need a new kitchen and you know, some other updates, but it's definitely worth more than in a $600,000 range.
Yeah, it sounds like you've had a lot of knuckleheads waste your time on this one then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. I deal with that a lot on some of my flips going on right now. We have investors that are trying to get a cash offer on a property I bought in cash.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 600 is not even in the picture, and honestly, I wouldn't offer 600. I'm looking at this deal from a few different frames. If I were to come in cash, if I sent you guys an offer in writing at say 700, maybe 710, would that also be a waste of both of our time?
I mean, we always say, you know, put an offer in and we'll present it to our clients. Our clients live in Tucson now, so obviously the house is vacant. You know, they're going to have to sell it. You know, they need to sell it.
Yeah.
So I always say, you know, I'll present anything. You know, I always, no matter what, I always go to my clients and ask, you know, talk to them about it. But you know, I don't know what situation they're in right now. You know, I mean, you know, who knows? You know, but like I said, I always say, you know, put an offer in and I'll present it to them and we see what we can do.
Yeah, and I appreciate you being willing to have that conversation. I'm a little confused though, right? They haven't owned it for that long. I mean, 10 years. So they've 10 years, right? What's stopping them from, you know, doing the lipstick work and then just leasing it up themselves?
Well, they had to move to Tucson, so they didn't feel like they wanted to. Because I've talked to them about putting, you know, new kitchen in and doing a couple other things, but they just don't really want to do that living in Tucson and having to deal with it.
Okay. I mean, look, that's fair. Not everybody's a landlord. So it sounds like they don't own any other rental properties. This was their primary. They moved over.
This was their primary residence. He got a new job in Tucson, so they had to move.
New job. Was it an upgrade?
I mean, he's a pediatric surgeon, so.
Oh my word. Wow. Okay. So he might be able to lend on some of my flips coming up.
So yeah, but yeah, they're not interested in leasing out properties. They're just, they're not interested in doing that. So,
Okay.
but yeah, they.
So Matt, I mean, look, I can throw a cash offer at you guys, but he sounds like he's a pretty intelligent seller and he knows what his house is worth. I'll send that offer and we'll see if he can, reel in on that. But I've bought properties at full retail all the time. With an investment, it doesn't always need to be an appreciation thing for me. I'm looking for cash flow primarily. So if I were to put together an offer, and I don't know that I can do that because I have to talk to my underwriter, but if I came in with a full retail offer, maybe even closer to what you guys originally listed at, do you think your client would be open-minded to the idea of terms?
I mean, I'll present anything you send over and we can see what we can do.
Have you sold homes on owner finance before?
No.
No. Okay, so this would be a first.
No. Yeah. I mean, my dad probably has, but I have not personally, no.
Sounds like your dad was selling houses in the 80s when rates were 17 and 18%.
So,
Yeah,
but
I hear that.
put something, if you figure, put something together and we'll present it to our clients and see what we can do.
I mean, look, I want to put together an offer, but for me, I don't want to just shotgun and send you something when I don't know that it's a fit for me. So pretend like I'm at the property, and I'm in Phoenix now myself. I'm based in LA. If I was shoulder to shoulder with you walking through the property and you were like, hey, Matt, do this, this, and this to get it to full retail value, what would that look like? We're going to do a new kitchen. We're going to replace flooring. What else would you recommend I have to upgrade?
There's a hole that back in the 80s when it was built that in front of the fireplace that for sitting area. Fill that in. Other than that, I mean, paint,
Yeah.
Of course, that's every single freaking house you walk into.
Yeah. So if I wave a magic wand, right? I do all the work. You give me the perfect plan to get this property to top value. What are we listing it at?
After it's all done,
Brand spanking new.
probably 900,000.
900,000. Okay. So when you guys listed this house, and Matt, this is not a condemnation on how you run your business, but I want you to kind of give me a little bit of guidance. You guys listed at 995. What was that conversation like? Was your seller like, hey, look, I'm only selling at this number, or what led us to doing that?
No, we at the time we actually ran comps, and actually with the lot size and the pool in the backyard's worth $100,000. Which people don't take in consideration. It's a horse property. Plus it's got covered stables, plus tack rooms. We took everything into consideration, which agents are not doing on this property.
Yeah.
We figured that would be a good place to start, and obviously you can go down from there.
Okay, I see. And I'm sure you guys have had investor offers where people are offering creative financing. We live in Arizona. There's this guy named Pace Morby, and he's literally everywhere. So he's been beating me on a bunch of deals. What was that conversation like when you guys did have someone send you something, maybe an offer asking for financing?
Our clients don't care either way. I mean, financing's, not any different than really cash, other than you have to worry about appraisals. So,
Well, so if I were to avoid going to the bank, getting it appraised, dealing with origination fees and all the expenses, and I wanted to put your client in the position where they were cash flowing on a property and completely forgot about it, do you think that would be mutually beneficial whatsoever?
I mean, I'm sure it would be.
Okay.
I mean,
Love it. Okay, well, let me not get the carriage ahead of the horse. I'm not sure that this property is going to be a great fit for my portfolio, but based on what I have looked at, it looks like we've got some potential. So let me get my team to get going on it. We'll put together a few different options, and then once I get you over the offer, I'd love for you to shoot me a text, let me know you got it, and then we can schedule a call and discuss what terms make sense and what helps your client move forward in their new property in Tucson.
all right, sounds good.
Marvelous. Appreciate your time, my friend. Bye.
Oh, he's so good.
Starbese.
He's so good. He's so good.
2.1 interest rate, dude.
2.1% interest
backs.
rate, yeah. You know what I think what I really like about how Matthew approaches this is he doesn't get too excited. You notice how he's like anchoring tonality and he's keeping things like really level, and he's not, I mean, you can see he's like lights up when he's done the call. 2.1% interest rate.
Let's go.
But he's not going to show that hand to the agent on the
No.
call, right? He's like, I don't even know if this is going to work for me, so let me get back with my team. We're going to look at some things, and I'll get back to you, which gives you a beautiful negotiation
Some healthy
positioning.
tension.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, honestly, as I listen to that, there's not really anything that I can say you could really do differently on a call like that. For our intents and purposes, guys, take notes, man.
Holla.
That's really, really, really good. Okay, I have a call. I'm gonna get yelled at, or maybe I'm gonna yell at somebody. So let's go. No, I'm not gonna yell. But it happens, you know.
Did you say that was $1 million house?
Yeah. I just closed it. Yeah, they're listed at 830, originally 995.
Hello?
Hey, is it Amir?
Yes.
Amir, Jamil here. Sorry, I was supposed to call you 15 minutes ago on the 30th Street house.
Oh, yes.
How you doing?
Good.
Okay, so I actually am really familiar with the area down there. I've got 3 lots where I'm building some houses over in South Mountain, so not too far. I think you guys are just on the other side there. I noticed you've been on the market for a minute, and so I have to make a couple of purchases right now for tax purposes. This may or may not work for me, but the price is right in terms of price point. So can you give me some details on how the listing's been going and maybe what you're seeing happening with it?
Well, I mean, it's slow. I mean, we've had quite a few showings, but just nothing solid coming through.
And do you think that's just like a symptom of the fact that the market is super soft right now, or was there anything of that in the house that has been deterring people?
No, not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay, because it looks like a really nice. I mean, it's a little dated, but not terribly, right? Like it a couple of minor updates, and I think you could. It would be a beautiful home, and then it's got a great lot size on it. Is there any horse privileges or anything that you know of? I saw that there was a discrepancy between the listing information and what tax records is showing for lot size. Is it a half acre or is it a little smaller?
No, it's smaller. It's not a half acre.
Okay. So the tax record's probably more accurate there on lot size?
Did I put half acre on the lot? I should not have.
Yeah, there was a difference between the listing information and the tax record, but no big deal. I just wanted to. I got a couple of big dogs, and so that sometimes it makes me it brings my eyes to a specific property because I'm always like, this could be a fun place for me to take the labradoodles, but okay.
Yeah, I'll double check because my assistants put all my stuff in there, so I have not seen what the lot size is.
Okay, got it.
I know it. But I know it's not half an acre.
Okay. So you're at 1.175. Are you getting a ton of cash offers on this that are lower? What's that been looking like?
No, I mean we priced it under. I mean, value for the other homes around there were sitting at 1.4. So we try to go at least 200 under to draw some attention. But first couple of weeks did really well. But then I mean we had quite a few interested buyers and kind of went back and forth, but then it was more out of state.
Okay.
Nothing kind of came together on it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the same things are happening to me right now on some of my deals. It's it was like this one turning point. I can't tell you the exact date that everything kind of went quiet, but it was like prior to that, I was having action, calls were coming in. It felt like I was going to be moving some of my deals, and then it went radio silent. And I think it's just a matter of buyer sentiment right now is a little strange. There's
You hear stuff about tariffs, hear stuff about it's all the same.
And I think it just makes people a little fearful, which isn't easy for sellers, right? Because they don't quite understand. They're like, well, I raised my babies there. What does that have to do with the tariff? And it really doesn't have anything to do with it. But if someone's not feeling confident in the real estate market, then they're not going to make an offer. Amir, is there any financing in place in this house right now?
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember how much he was off the top of my head. I have everything literally written down.
Okay.
I think he owes, I want to say like maybe 4 to 600K.
Okay, so he's got a lot of equity.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's why I asked that. I could potentially put a deal together here very close to your asking price, if not at or even slightly above your asking price. But because of the way that the rates are right now, I'm trying to get as much financing in place as I can. Now I can come in with a nice down payment, which would securitize your seller, would take care of you for your commissions. But would your seller, do you think, be open to allowing me to take over his existing financing and then potentially financing some of that equity in an owner finance note? And say we did like a 10-year balloon where in a decade I could refinance out, and he doesn't end up taking a haircut to sell this thing.
I don't know. We haven't actually discussed that option yet.
Okay. And Amir, it might be a good time to open that door with him, just because of the way that things are kind of looking right now, right? In markets like this where things get quiet, the way that real movers and shakers move is they start getting creative. And I know for my deals that have been harder to move, once I start offering terms, things really change. And so I could see myself putting a deal together on this and actually taking it off your guys' hands if we could do that. So here's what I think would probably be the best way to present it. If I can put an email together that really simplifies what I'm talking about, and I email that over to you, it might be worth all of us getting on a Zoom and kind of talking it through.
Okay. I'm driving, so I haven't looked at it.
Oh yeah, no problem. I mean, I haven't sent you the email yet, but I could send you. Yeah. I could send you one by like the end of tonight. And then if there's an opportunity or there's interest with your client, I'm happy to hop on a Zoom with you guys tomorrow and kind of hammer it out. But I do love the area. I do think it's a great house. I love how big the lot is. I'm not here to beat you guys up, but I do think if we want to sell anywhere near where your guys' number is, we gotta think outside the box.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to put something together, what you think, and then send it over, and then I can, kind of go over that with him tomorrow, and then, if that's something that he's interested in, then yeah, I mean,
cool.
Reach back out and see what we can do.
Okay, great. I'll keep your eyes peeled for an email from me. It might come from my personal email or from one of my teammates, but we'll reference the property and you'll remember this conversation, because I doubt you'll get another email like that. And then before I let you go, brother, anything else that you're sitting on right now in your inventory that could potentially be something I should look at to give you another solution on?
No, not at the moment, no.
Okay, and any ugly houses that you know of coming out to the market that I could flip?
Not yet, no.
But you might?
I might, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay, keep me in mind for that one, because the really ugly houses that's my specialty. I'll put this email together, I'll send it to you, and then let's circle back and chat tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, brother, have a great night.
You too.
See ya.
Bye.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, and I do want to point something out. You guys noticing that on some of these higher priced homes, they haven't been getting a barrage of calls? Who noticed that? Okay, so what does that kind of tell you? There might be a lane. There's a lane, right? Because I had said earlier, these more expensive homes, they're actually easier to find end buyers for, because you've got all these self-employed people with cash that can't get traditional financing. They're a lot more qualified of a wrap buyer or a buyer for like a creative buyer than a loan turn down buyer, right? Because a loan turn down buyer, not saying it, like, again, I'm not passing judgment here, but a lot of times when somebody can't qualify for a 5% loan mortgage and then we're putting them in a creative deal, it's a little risky, right? Because they're already being turned down by a lending institution for a low down payment home. Where on the flip side of that, we're talking about business owners with hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank that are just not showing their income for taxation purposes, but these guys are financially qualified. And they're not going to scoff at your down payment. They're not going to scoff at your fee. So like it's a lane to think about. These pretty houses, they're really, really good creative wholesale deals. They're really, really good creative wrap deals. So it could be a nice niche for you guys to look at for putting stuff like this together. And then talk to Matthew, because when they want really big down payments, you can do the Morby method on those deals that allows you to come in with a nice down payment, gets you paid on the acquisition of the deal, and you still end up with that asset. Cool? All right. Who's next?
I'm out.
So I have a 5. Did we skip anybody else?
I'm out.
Okay, so we have Eric. You got this one right. This might be an in Spanish call, but I don't have his number. Sorry, I don't know if you guys assumed that I had his number. Oh, okay.
Is there a 445? I still don't work
A 445? That wasn't the call? That was the 445.
I had a 445. Yeah, that was the 445.
Are you trying to say it was a different person with a seller financing of $1 million? Jorge. Do you have his number, Eric? Oh, you have his number.
Nope, they don't have it in here. Oh, right here. Seller phone.
Oh yeah, there. Okay. Oh, that's different.
We have, I don't want to say it out loud, but.
No. I'll try both numbers. The number you gave me and the number she gave me. 813-454. Okay. They both start the same way.
Oh.
Oh no, you're right. It's slightly different. Okay.
Tu llamada se reenvió al buzón de voz. La persona con la que intentas comunicarte.
I said it might be in Spanish.
Tu llamada se reenvió.
Okay, let's try the other one. What's the other one?
I don't have the other one.
Oh, she just sent me the other one. Oh, there it is. Who wants Matt to now do it in Spanish? You need Russian? Yeah. Da. Just kidding, that's the only word I know. I think it's a word in Russian.
The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone.
Bruh. Double dialing. Okay. I also have one other one. It's just I'm not excited about it because it's a 7% interest rate.
Okay.
But it is a nicer home, higher price.
Okay, what did we learn today? That it doesn't matter about the house.
Hello, is this Jorge?
Jorge? No, it's Luis speaking.
Luis? Luis.
Yeah, so you're Luis.
Oh, Luis, sorry. I was told to contact maybe you and Jorge about a house off, or excuse me, a property off of Riverview Drive in Florida.
Yeah, we have it.
Oh, okay.
Do you speak Spanish so you could call him?
I
I'm
do.
not with him right now.
Oh, you're not with him. Okay, is does his other number end in
I'm sorry, give me 1 second.
No worries.
Hold
Okay.
on. It ends with
2715?
2715. Yeah, boy,
Yeah.
go ahead and text him.
Okay.
Man block it.
Okay.
And he needs to know it's you. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Because if you call him, it's gonna go straight to voicemail because he got so many people call him that he has spam blocked.
Oh.
I just told him that you calling him right now, so
Okay.
just make sure you text him first.
Okay, I'll text him first. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, bye. All right. I gotta text him first.
Right, Ingrid? We don't care about the 7% house. We care about the relationship and what they have that could also be.
Well, the thing is that it's owner agent,
Oh.
and I don't like his interest rate. So
Okay.
it's like, how do you tell the mom the baby's ugly? I mean, yeah. Like, ooh, I really love your pool. Your pool's so pooly. Yeah. I mean,
She has
I
a
could.
way of doing it, you know? Like, it's just like,
Maybe she has another child. You don't say how cute, you say, oh, it's a girl.
Okay. I mean, we'll try.
okay. You're fantastic.
Sorry. Okay, let's see if he answers now.
Tu llamada se reenvió.
Mother.
I gotta say though, the folks that are tuning in and watching this right now, and also for you guys, like if anyone questioned if this is
Appropriate?
staged,
Oh.
no chance. No chance. Holy
Tu
moly.
llamada se reenvió al buzón.
Nah, bruh.
Did you text him?
I texted him. I said, hablo español. Maybe he's in the potty. Okay, we'll call the baby ugly one.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, who knows? I hope that this call goes so well and you get like an off-market fix and flip that's at 40% of ARV so that
you and I can flip it together and make money together.
Yes. And the whole time we're doing it, you're gonna call me old man.
Like fine wine, baby. Mm-hmm. Actually, the very first time I ever talked to Jamel, I embarrassed myself because one of the things that I really, really love about Jamel is that he has such an extensive vocabulary. And I just think that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me the dictionary.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, she's too kind.
All right, hold on.
Oh my God, somebody on YouTube wrote, I've never seen a bandit sign that says we buy ugly babies. That's
But
good.
maybe you should. We're used to. Yeah.
That's
great.
You never know. I think the play on this, and this is why I don't like knowing all the info either, just like Pace. I think the play is like, hey, let me see if I can find you an I-10 buyer or a business buyer because this interest rate is not great, which would make it difficult for me to take it on as an investor. So, man, you guys really make it hard for me. So, what's his name? This came from Yerzen, but I didn't get a phone number. He just sent me the mortgage statement and an email. And so I have to work my way backwards here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got it. All right.
Oh, you mean John Bay?
John Bay. Doesn't that sound like it should be like a John Bay film?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought so. All right. Here we go. Ugly baby call. Here we go.
It's gonna be so good, Ingrid. It's gonna
be
be so
great.
good.
Okay. It is in one of the magic zip codes, 85254. Snobsdale, guys.
It's actually Phoenix. It's a Scottsdale address with Phoenix taxes. So it's like super magic.
Hello?
Hi, this is Ryan Dowd with EXP Real.
Is this me you're looking for? No?
No?
Nobody knows that song?
Oh yeah, we know the song. You just didn't sing it right.
Oh, okay. I know I am a terrible singer. My daughter tells me that all the time too. But I'm entertaining, okay? Have a what? A flaw. My husband also said these 11s are getting deep. He's like, stop being so mean. I'm like, okay. A lot of frowning. All right. I didn't get an answer. What you got,
I'll
Casey? You got something?
Let's do it.
Let's
I
do
got
it.
a 5, 15, and a 5:30.
I got a 5:45.
Hey.
I always text them ahead of time. They did text back, so I'm not optimistic they'll answer. But my 5:30 confirmed, so.
Tell him you got a big old fund.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Kay's got a big old fund.
But you got to text them so it gets past their blocker.
Yeah.
If they reply. This is Bozeman, Montana. You guys ready to go up north?
Oh, let's
State of
go.
Montana.
Your name, phone number.
Oh.
I want something in Kalispell. I'm left out. I feel left out.
Right?
You did? And then you didn't tell me? Oh. I'm the only one that doesn't have a house in Kalispell. Okay,
Jordan Reyes will find you one.
cool.
Is he your cousin? Damn you. Is that your same last name? Maybe he is.
All right, I got the next one. Another one. But hey, I did want to give a shout out to, so is it Tori Ann? Where's Tori Ann? So did I say the name right? Tony Ann? Tony Ann. Tony
Big-
Ann. Okay, so
big
Tony
T.
Ann.
Big T.
Yeah, Tony Ann booked a good one today.
Hey.
So another call I had that didn't get to be up on stage, but a great call you did. So it's the one in Houston. She actually had, what's that?
Is it Jen?
Yes, Jen. So Jen would have, we have 2 offers we're going to send to Jen because Jen had not only that house, but another house.
Woo-hoo. You guys tracking me?
So it's one that's,
So you're having them send the contract?
yeah, so I'll give you guys an update on that one. But the quick and short was, it's free and clear. And she's like, I wouldn't do it unless it was 30% down. I'm like, well, okay, if it's free and clear, we could run the Morby method. So I'm like talking that through. And she's like, yeah, but they want 30% down and they want 6 to 7% interest and full price. I'm like, hey, I can't give you all of them. Can you at least help me with interest rates? So she said, go ahead and send over the offer on that one. Then she goes, so she's like, but I have another one that I think would be open to better interest rate terms. So that one, I think they basically said that we could take over the loan if we would pay out the loan, and then they would do like 0% carryback potentially. So we'll see. Okay. But I'll get with you guys on the terms, but 2 different ones. Yeah. Good job. Good for you.
I actually had to talk to Trish on that one because I booked it, and then by the time I was ready to put all the information in, the slot was gone. So I had to talk her in to going like 40, 45 minutes later, and it kept changing, and I was like, oh my god, I'm about to double book this person.
Appointments were being booked like this.
This morning. Yeah.
Dang.
What's happening? Jorge on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay, dale, bring it. You got him. Sorry, Casey.
We'll get my
Apparently you already
5:30.
got contracts, so.
That's right.
Oh. Hola, Jorge.
Sí.
Ah, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, usted.
Ah, muy bien, gracias. Tienes el nombre de mi tío favorito.
Es un número bastante común.
Ah, perdón, te estaba tratando de llamar, pero no tienes algo de spam blocker.
Yo
No sé.
los números que no tengo registrados no recibo llamadas porque es el día entero llamando compañías que si quiero seguro médico, que si quiero el teléfono, que si quiero paneles solares y yo no tengo tiempo para saber. Me paso el día entero trabajando para estar perdiendo tiempo con esas llamadas. Entonces solamente recibo llamadas las que tengo registradas o el que quiera hablar conmigo.
O a la persona que te...
mensaje de texto, porque tampoco oigo mensajes de voz. Los mensajes de voz no pierdo tiempo oyendo eso. Tampoco lo oigo. El que me quiera contactarle, que me escriba un mensaje, no tiene que ser largo, corto, y ya yo le he escrito y yo le devuelvo la llamada.
Ah, bueno, ok. Te voy a decir una cosita. Yo ya soy pura gringa por estar aquí en los Estados Unidos por mucho tiempo. Porque soy de Colombia y mi primer lengua era español, pero ¿tú de dónde eres?
De Cuba.
De Cuba, ok. Ese acento es un poquito difícil por mí, ok. Entonces vamos a hablar un poquito más lento, ¿bueno?
Sí, ese es mi problema, que hablo muy rápido.
Ah, es que tienes mucho que hacer. Uno tiene que hablar rápido cuando tiene mucho que hacer. Bueno, lo que te voy a tratar de traer es dinero. Eso mejor que de venderte esos teléfonos y las otras cosas que te están tratando de decir que no.
Sí, es porque esto es negocio.
Es negocio, vamos, ok. Entonces dime de lo qué es lo que estás tratando de hacer con esta propiedad.
Mira, esa propiedad, yo quisiera venderla, o quiero venderla. Actualmente está generando, comenzó a generar dinero precisamente este mes. Empecé a hacer Airbnb, que yo no lo hago. Yo se lo di a un amigo mío y él es el que lleva eso. Yo no hago eso. Y entonces yo quiero vender la propiedad, porque a mí me interesa más el dinero en efectivo que para yo seguir trabajando. A mí no me gusta eso de cobrar de poquito en poquito. A mí me gusta venderlo todo y ponerle dinero a trabajar en otra cosa.
Entonces, ¿cómo así? ¿A ti te gusta pagar impuestos?
Yo compro, por ejemplo, ahora yo vendo esa propiedad y ese dinero lo hago comprarlo completo en propiedad.
Sí, yo le entiendo, pero por vender como estás preguntando, vas a tener que pagar impuestos. ¿O tienes otro plan como un 1031?
Eso es lo que tengo.
Ah, ok. Entonces, ¿quieres hacer un 1031?
Sí, yo tengo mi contadora que me hace eso.
Ah, bueno.
La que me hace la contabilidad.
Ok. Por lo que me encantaría comprar la casa y darte el número de que tú quisieras, pero lógico, en este momento los ratos están muy subidos y yo tengo que comprar es con financios. ¿No piensas que quizás podemos hacer algo que si doy como la mitad de lo que estás buscando en efectivo, que lo otro lo dejarías ahí como una nota?
Mira, para hablarte sincero, yo tengo ofertas cash. Yo no las he cogido porque me están dando bastante dinero y no he aceptado ninguna oferta porque quiero buscar más.
Ok. ¿Y qué es lo mínimo que te han dado?
Me están dando 1.6 cash, pero yo no lo acepto.
¿Pero por qué?
Porque yo quiero más.
Bueno, entonces, ¿cuánto más?
Yo estoy pidiendo 1.9. Voy a pedir, yo no lo he listado, como no me interesa venderlo actualmente, no es que lo quiero vender, pero no es una prioridad para mí. Porque yo tengo otra propiedad y trabajo con ese es un dinero que tengo yo ahí en otro negocio que tengo. Bueno, eso es un cuento que es largo, que no tiene nada que ver con esto. Bueno, entonces yo quiero lo más porque quiero poder cobrar lo más que se pueda de la propiedad. No, ¿cómo se llama? No estoy tan apurado en venderla. Pues, porque actualmente ahora mismo, como bueno, fíjate que la puse, se la di al amigo mío para que hiciera Airbnb y ahí hay 8 unidades. Y está generando tanto dinero, que usted no se puede imaginar. Por eso mismo no me interesa, o es lo que yo quiero o no me interesa, ¿tú me entiendes? Perder 300,000 pesos es mucho dinero.
Ok. Entonces me está diciendo que si te puedo dar el número que estás buscando o un número más subido.
Pero cash, si fuera cash.
¿Quieres todo en efectivo? Okay.
Sí, en efectivo, sí.
Ok. Y ya te han dado una oferta de el 1.6. Ok, sí. Bueno, ok. ¿Y qué más tienes, man? Porque quiero hacer un deal contigo.
¿Cómo que más tengo?
Bueno, un muchacho así que necesita un 1031 está haciendo más cosas, ¿que no?
Sí, yo tengo muchas propiedades.
Ah, entonces, ¿por qué te tienes que quedar con todas?
No, yo lo que estoy es aumentando en propiedades. A mí no me interesa el dinero. A mí lo que me interesa son las propiedades. Yo lo que quiero es tener hoy 10 y el año que viene tener 20.
Ok, me dijiste que si estás hablando muy rapidito y ahorita no te escuché.
Mira, el problema es que yo compro, vendo y vuelvo a comprar. Es decir, que yo genero, por ejemplo, $100,000 y después invierto esos $100,000 completamente.
Ah, bueno, ok. Entonces, mejor te busco algo de comprar.
Sucesivamente voy vendiendo y comprando, vendiendo y comprando.
Por eso me encantaría venderte algo. Porque lo que me estás diciendo es que yo por comprar, en la manera que yo compro casas, no vamos a poder hacer algo, porque a mí me encanta comprar con financios creativos. Pero si tú me estás diciendo que tienes todo este dinero en el banco, lo que tengo que hacer, lo que es lógico por lo que hago yo, es encontrarte algo para que tú puedas comprar. Y yo tengo muchísimas personas que conozco allá en Florida que te pueden encontrar algo. Y a lo más...
Bueno, si es en el área de Tampa, sí. Porque yo tengo 60 años, yo odio estar manejando mucho tiempo.
Ajá.
Yo solamente trabajo aquí. Aquí yo tengo varias compañías de wholesale que me venden propiedades. Bueno, ahora mismo yo tengo 7 bajo contrato, pero ya tengo como 4 contratos. Según voy vendiendo, voy a comprarlas.
Ya, ok. ¿Y qué piensas con poner inversiones en otras propiedades que quizás no están en Florida, quizás que están en otros estados, que pueden hacer lo más de lo que puedes hacer en Tampa?
No, nada.
Te quedas en Tampa.
Si no es en Tampa, no quiero nada.
Ok.
Bueno. Yo vivo en Tampa y Orlando me queda 1 hora y no voy. Kissimmee es otra ciudad.
Kissimmee,
no voy. Sarasota, otra ciudad que tiene playa, no voy. Solamente en Tampa.
¿Qué piensas de Coquina?
Un lugar muy lindo.
Ay, me encanta.
Muy lindo,
Encuéntreme algo ahí, porque a mí me encantaría encontrar algo ahí en Coquina.
Coquina es caro.
Bueno, entonces, ¿por qué quiero comprar algo a donde no esté caro? Ahí es donde uno debe estar.
No, te digo yo. No. Y tiene su valor por lo bueno que es y lo bien que se renta.
Ok. Encontramos algo en Coquina, entonces, si no me vas a vender esta propiedad porque ya me estás diciendo que ya tienes buenas ofertas, y en mi opinión debes de mirar a eso, pero vamos a ver, encontramos algo en Coquina entonces, y si no, ahí voy a encontrar qué más que te puedo vender allá en Tampa.
Bueno, si encuentras algo en Tampa, envíeme lo que tengas en Tampa, que si me conviene, yo compro. Yo te puedo mandar una lista de códigos postales que son donde yo compro. Okay. Hay un área que esa propiedad con la que estamos hablando de esta conversación, eso se llama Riverview.
Ajá.
En esa área compro varias propiedades. Yo tengo bastantes propiedades ahí.
Okay.
Pero solamente compro que tengan terreno. Si no tienen terreno, no la compro.
No, por supuesto. Bueno, ok, así hacemos. Entonces voy a buscar terreno para ti. Y no más porque no me siento completa, sino te mando algo en oferta para que lo pienses. Pero si no, está bien. Pero si sí, entonces ahí vamos.
Está bien, no hay
problema. Bueno, ok. Y después, cuando llego en Florida, nos podemos ir a tomar un cafecito.
Está bien, no hay problema.
O bailar una salsita. ¿Bailas?
No.
Ah, ¿cómo así? Ah, ok, bueno. Ok, bueno, era muy amable. Muchas gracias, tío Jorge.
Gracias a usted. Bueno, que tenga buenas noches.
Ah, bueno, ahí hablamos, ¿ok? Chao.
Has to have land. Not that he's looking for land,
No.
But property with land.
Yes, I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm asking what part of Cuba.
You're going to ask what part of Cuba? I wouldn't know the answer to that. Oh, yeah. Basically, he's a sophisticated investor. He buys properties, he sells them, and then he keeps recycling his money into bigger buys, and he 1031s a lot. So he already has a $1.6 million cash offer on his deal, but he wants 1.9. So he's just being patient because he doesn't have a lot of motivation. I said, okay, no problem. I said, well, let's go buy something else then. And I said, okay, I love Coquina. I happened to go there a year or two ago. Hung Mai, who's in Orlando. Congratulations to Hung Mai. He's getting married, by the way, in Vietnam. I have so much to say. Like, honestly, I know somebody in every market because Subto is just everywhere. Isn't this an amazing community? So, yes. So I told the guy, I said, well, let me sell you something then, because it sounds like you're a buyer. He's like, yeah, sell me something specifically in Riverview, in Tampa, and I will specifically buy in Riverview. So if you guys are marketing in Florida, he's looking for properties in Riverview, okay? But what he was trying to say with the terreno part, the land, Don't sell them no condos, because he wants the land. His land's more valuable to him.
No, he wants a property with land.
Yes, I understand. I'm telling you that he actually the property we're talking about, he bought it land and he added units on it. Yeah. So, yeah. They're manufactured homes. They were super, super cute, and they were built up to be rented on Airbnb. And then because I happened to go to Coquina when I went there a couple of years ago, I said, let's go buy something in Coquina together. And he's like, oh, no, it's so expensive. And then I said, well, why wouldn't I want to be somewhere where it's expensive? So I was just kind of, building rapport. So there you go. I'm not a buyer for him, but I did tell him, let me just send you an offer so I feel more complete. That way he can at least have our information and he can look it over. Maybe, I don't know, he decides he really likes us because I made good rapport with him, and then he'll take me as a backup offer. So, yeah. All right.
That's work.
Huh? Yeah, I do dance salsa. I think I'm good enough. It's been a minute. I mean, I am getting older. My hips are a little tighter. I don't know. Yeah. I dance salsa at Arizona State. But I'm 43, guys. It's been at least 20 years. So, you got a comment?
Love it. I got it. We'll go
Let's
back.
do it, Casey.
5:30. So I'll ask this one to me. Anybody want to buy a fourplex?
Yes.
Or dream about doing a house
Where?
hack in Bozeman, Montana?
Yes, absolutely.
How about that? The only problem
Kalispell.
The only problem is you're paying about $250,000 a door. But
Ooh, $1,000,000 bucks?
Look,
we'll see
it
what happens.
doesn't matter the number as long as
yeah.
it cash flows.
Oh.
Structure that baby.
That's right. And I did a little bit of market research. It looked like they were getting like $2,300 a month per door, potentially. Well,
That's
yeah.
almost the 1% rule. So that sounds about market.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go. She confirmed. She will answer. So 224. Shay. Calling to you.
Hey, Casey, how's it going?
Hey, Shay. How you doing, man?
No complaints.
Good. Hey, man. Thanks for hanging out a little later in this evening. What do you got? You got any big plans tonight other than doing some real estate deals?
Nothing. Just kind of hanging out. Just got done with some dinner and just knocking out some paperwork real quick while I was waiting for you. So.
Awesome. Cool, man. All right. Well, just a little bit of my background. So I actually grew up down in Sheridan, Wyoming. I went to school up in Billings, but now I've got about 250 units across Wyoming and Montana. We actually got another 120 unit under contract just last week. So, but we're still looking, man. I love Bozeman, and obviously it's a whole different animal in terms of price point. But I figured it's a fourplex.
Are you still living in Sheridan, or where are you at now?
You know what? Believe it or not, so I worked in oil and gas I graduated from Wyoming, and actually all my buddies went up to Bozeman. I almost got into school
I
at
graduated
Bozeman.
from Wyoming as well, so that's why I was curious.
Oh, really?
I was born in Billings, but grew up down in Casper.
Oh, no kidding. Nice, man.
Yeah, and graduated from Wyoming. Went down there. I was there for 2011 through 2016.
Oh, no joke. Yeah, I did my master's from 2010 to 2012 in petroleum.
Okay.
So just missed it.
Nice.
Nice,
Yep, got a little crossover there. That's funny.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Okay, how long you been back in Bozeman?
I've been up here 7.5, almost 8 years now.
Wow. Nice,
8
man.
years in August. So.
And how long you been in real estate, selling homes?
Same amount of time. Yeah, I started right as I moved up here. I graduated college and then moved back to Casper for 2 years. And my stepbrother owns a bar down there, and I bartended there for 2 years and just lived in my parents' basement and traveled the world for 2 years and went on 5 big trips in 2 years, but finally kind of woke up one morning and I was like, I don't want to bartend the rest of my life.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I was like, I should probably figure out an actual career.
There you go, man.
So moved up here and got into real estate and been doing it since. So
Nice, man. And how about that timing, man? Starting in Bozeman 6 or 7 years ago, I bet you've done well.
yeah, I'm very glad I started when I did.
Have you been buying properties up there over the years, or just buying and selling?
Just buying mainly primary residence. I bought a condo up there, or up here in 2018, and then sold it 3.5 years later for $225,000 more than I paid for it. And then
heck yeah,
bought a house, a single family house, and moved into that. And it's already worth about $400,000 more than I paid for it. So
wow. So you've rolled basically almost $700,000 in equity you've created just from the market.
Yeah,
awesome.
So now loving it. And that's kind of the goal, is eventually start getting close to paying one off, and then from there buying some rental units and expanding that, kind of like sounds like what you're doing. So
yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Next question is, when are you going to start buying some rentals up there?
Once I can swing it, I'm trying to get main primary residence paid down, just so once I can buy one full cash and just free up everything and not have a monthly payment on it, and start leveraging my way into some rentals and getting that route going.
Yeah, man. Well, that's the only problem now, right? Is like waiting for prices to ever come down and make numbers work, man. But honestly, do you think we'll ever be able to make numbers work in Bozeman to buy rentals and make them cash flow?
Anytime soon, I'm not seeing it really. I mean, it's a lot of the Bozeman market or whatever, you're banking more on appreciation than you are monthly cash flow.
You're the case study for it, man.
Exactly. So.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, I mean, yeah, good conversation, man. And honestly, if this one doesn't work, I'd love to collaborate and let you know what I am looking for. So whether I find it or who knows, we could maybe partner on something down the road.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely keep my ears peeled, and if I hear things coming up as well, I can keep you in the loop.
Yeah. All right. Well, this tees it up too, man, for how I would frame up an offer, and you could tell me if these are not the right people, but the way I'm still buying properties today, right? So just a little bit of background. I built my portfolio like I was working my W-2, and I was able to get good bank financing, and rates were still affordable, right? And I could make numbers work. But all that kind of went away, right, about a year or two ago. So, but I've still been buying, and the way I'm doing it is I'm finding people that they either own the property free and clear, and they'll do seller financing, which that's exactly what I'm doing on my 120 unit right now. They're actually carrying it. We're setting up a creative structure there. Or I'll find people who've got, maybe they financed the property 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, and they locked it in at like 4 or 5%, maybe 2 or 3 if we're lucky. And then I'll take over their financing. And then sometimes if they got equity, I'll actually pay them out on their equity, right? And then we'll structure, and then they're happy because they sell the property, they can get their price, you know what I mean? And then I can make it cash flow. So that's how I structure a lot of them. Do you think? So I'm gonna.
Have you just basically been structuring it like you put it in a trust and then you buy the trust from them to assume the mortgage, or?
Yeah, I've done it that way a couple times, but it depends, right? If it's a higher. Okay, right now this 120 unit, yes, we're actually going to buy their interest of their LLC, right? In the loans, the LLC is in the loans, or yeah, you get what I'm saying. So yeah, it's in that name. So we're doing it that way. So if it's a larger deal, yes. If it's a simple, straightforward one, we'll just go through an escrow company and we'll just change the deed and we make it really easy, and then we just make payments, right? But a lot of ways to do it. So what do you think on the one, this one on 500 South 20th, first off, do you know if they have it free and clear?
So I don't believe she has it free and clear. She purchased it in 2017.
Okay.
Let me look real fast. I can't remember off the top of my head what she purchased it at, but let me log into our MLS and I can.
Perfect.
I want to say it was like mid 500s, and I believe that they financed it, but I might be lying to you. She might be free and clear, but I just have to double check that. Man,
and while you're looking at that, this is potentially how this would work. And if it doesn't work on this one, and if you don't, this is an awesome strategy. So think about that. If she sells it for $1 million or even $900K, wherever you guys are at, she's going to pay about. Is she planning the 1031, or have she mentioned like her tax plan with that?
No, so she's mentioned that she might roll it into something down in Colorado. So she is a real estate agent down in Colorado.
Okay.
And so that's kind of like her plan is just get something a little bit closer to home, I think.
Okay.
But she hasn't mentioned if she's planning on 1031 in or just paying it out and finding something along those lines.
Okay.
From there and trying to figure it out.
Okay.
So it looks like she bought it for $525.
Okay.
Back in late 2016. And it looks like it was a cash deal. So it looks like she'd probably own it outright.
Okay.
From what I see, but I would have to just check with her on that.
Verify. Okay, so hear me out on this, and this is a cool strategy. I actually just did this on another property down in Laramie. It's actually south of town, right? It's right on the other side of the interstate, kind of by there. It's like you're heading out toward Fort Collins. And this guy was similar, right? He had paid cash years ago. Property appreciated, not quite this much, but you know what? Actually, it was like 20 years ago. So if he were to sell it to me outright, he was going to have like $600K in capital gains. So what we did, rather than him do all the 1031 stuff and get forced into buying another deal, he seller financed to me, and we spread it out over like 10 years. So the cool thing is with capital gains, there's a minimum, right? Like if you can go look it up, but right now it's around $90,000. So if you stay under $90,000 per year, you avoid capital gains. So he sold it to me like over 10 years. It was perfect for me, right? I got a good payment. I got in it with low money down. So I'm saying this out loud because maybe we could get this lady the exact price she wants, because I did see it's been sitting. I mean, hell, we might be able to, I saw you guys are at 1.1. We might be able to go back up to our 1.1 number if we could structure it out over time.
Yeah.
Do you think we could put something, at least, here's what I've done.
Like I was going to say, she's an agent as well, so I mean, she's somewhat savvy in the business, and I think it would be worth our time, like, to schedule a call with her, because it's easy for me to be the middleman and convey all this, but obviously it's a more complex conversation than just like, oh, here's the numbers, offering like a standard offer, that type of thing. Like, so I think it would be worthwhile to kind of figure out a time that we could all get on a call.
Yes.
Like that type of thing.
Shay, you that is music to my ears. Like I try to do this all the time, because to your exact point, like it's the telephone game, right?
Yeah,
but
it's like I can do the he said she said game all day long, but if it's a way more of a nuanced type thing like this, where it's like your conventional, straightforward, just shoot me a buy sell type thing, I think it's definitely worth finding a time where we can all hop on a conversation. And
I'd love to.
Hash it out, and
and we could do it. And you tell me, right? We could hop on a Zoom call. I could share my screen, and I could actually. That's maybe the easiest, because I could show like numbers. Because that's the other thing too. Is I rattle. I mean, you're pretty savvy, right? I rattle off a bunch of numbers and terms, but it's a lot of some people. And it sounds like she's savvy too. But I'd love to walk it through like on a spreadsheet, and kind of.
Yeah, and I mean visuals can. They always say pictures worth 1,000 words.
That's right. That's right, man.
Pictures and stuff, it helps explain it far more in depth than just trying to have that conversation. But yeah, I mean, I think at this point she's motivated to get it moved, and for the right price. Like, obviously doesn't want to just give it away for free, but is looking to get it sold. And so I think she'd be open to hearing about any strategy that would make the numbers work for both parties. So.
Hell yeah, man. This is awesome. Because like typically when I first looked at this, I'm like, oh man, $1 million for a fourplex, $250,000 a door in Bozeman. How the heck am I going to make it work? But I'm like, you know what? It's worth a call and see if they're, because I mean, I'm telling you, when you find them, when they have it free and clear, and well, even if it's not free and clear, we could still structure it. But I figured it's worth a shout.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me chat with her. What's kind of your schedule generally look like for hopping on a Zoom call?
Yeah, like we could do, I mean, if she's got any time for tomorrow, I'll make time. I'll work around her. It'd be great, honestly, because we're, I'd love to, I'm going to talk to my partner too, and they're all around here tomorrow, so I'd love, if it's possible to do tomorrow, it'd be great.
Okay.
But no rush. I mean, if she's tied up, no worries.
Yeah, I'll give her a call real quick and just kind of fill her in and just say, love to have a conversation and hop on a Zoom call with you just to kind of explain where you guys are at and see what her schedule looks like tomorrow, and then I'll just give you a call back real quick.
Cool, man. And I know we've gotten to know each other, but do you think any sort of like credibility would be helpful? I don't want her to be like, oh man, I don't have time for this. I could share our website, or what would be helpful for you to kind of build in a little credibility?
Honestly, I mean, I'll just kind of feel out how the conversation goes, and if she's kind of on board with it, then we'll just run with it. But if she's a little more skittish and not sure about everything, I can let you know, and we can figure out a way to show her previous testimonials or whatever it may be that kind of helps build rapport, that type of thing. So I'll just kind of feel it out, see what her schedule's looking like, and see if she has. How long do you think it would be? Maybe 30 minutes top
Yeah,
on a phone
30
call?
tops. We can keep it at 15 if she's got a tight schedule, but yeah, 30 tops.
Okay. Cool, man. Well, yeah, let me give her a quick call, touch base with her, and then I'll give you a call back.
Okay, awesome. Appreciate the time, Shay.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll chat soon.
All right, man. Have a good night.
You too.
See ya.
Yo, I see you guys, in my head, I picture you guys, golfing together, talking about, the good old college day. You guys were on the same, wavelength.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like old buddies.
Yeah, like old buddies.
And that's something to keep in mind and think about. Casey immediately went to
Petroleum?
topics of that they were similar to each other, right? This is where I went to school. Da 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 da. He wanted to establish the roots because there were areas that could provide some connectivity between them that just totally disarmed this guy.
Yes.
Because now he's talking to one of his friends. Now he's talking to a colleague, somebody that is just like him, grew up in the same spots as he did, go to the same types of schools. You're my kind of guy, And so all of a sudden now he can have a really honest conversation and tell him a strategy. That guy was an open book. He was ready to have the conversation, didn't discount, discredit, or anything like that. Wasn't even worried about your credibility.
Yeah.
You even bringing that to the table afterwards, he was just credibility, bro. We've been friends for 20 years.
Yeah.
What are you talking about credibility?
Oil and gas, baby.
There was just so much. There was there was so much to take in there to little notes. And folks that are listening in on YouTube, Zoom, here, what are the pieces about yourself that you could bring to the conversations and maybe highlight in some of these, right? Think about that. It's totally, it's real when we can share with people our story, when we can share with people aspects of our lives that can find resonance there with others. And then you can see how incredibly powerful that becomes in your capacity then to connect, right? Mm-hmm. That was so good. And then truly now, if you can get an owner financed fourplex in Bozeman, like you say, who cares if it's $1 million, right? You cash flow property over there and you're laughing. Yeah. And your strategy on how you presented it as well, because it is gonna be a big tax burden for her. Mm-hmm. And she's not doing this by 1031, because if she was, she would have had to already have set that up. Mm-hmm. And so, that's the reality.
You could do a reverse 1031.
I don't even know what that is, but to my knowledge, these 1031s, pardon me? Oh, you're hilarious. You're funny. But typically they got to be set up ahead of time, right? And so she really is going to put herself in a pretty big tax situation here. So he's going to be talking her language. If he says to them on the Zoom, hey, look, how much does she stand to make in profit on this?
It would be about almost $400,000.
Yeah, sweetheart, you're going to spend 200 of that thousand, right? 200K of that's going to go right to the IRS.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
And so he has such a great talking track to be able to have that conversation with her. So very good, Casey.
Do you know what's funny? Is that he had almost a similar conversation, although you were talking to the agent, but yours was in English.
Yeah.
What you guys don't know is I had a similar conversation in Spanish.
There was a guy on YouTube who was translating it, and they were going wild on YouTube
Where's the
for that
SAP
too.
button?
Yeah.
But that's exactly our conversation. We're I was like, oh, you like paying taxes? He's like, oh, no, I'm gonna 1031 this. So I was like, oh, okay. So he's like, yeah, my accountant already told me I can 1031, blah, blah, blah. So it's interesting, but different dynamic, right? Yeah. I jived with him on the Spanish stuff, right? And then you jived on the gassy stuff.
Yeah.
The oil and gas stuff. Yeah.
Wyoming,
Okay, I have a call. No, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I want to
No, please. You can see it doesn't matter if we're late, so go ahead.
Ooh, let's see your arm. Go, Trish.
Oh my God! That could have been so bad.
That's the camera. I was worried about the camera.
I believed in you.
You
That's
guys
good.
both killed it.
That was solid. Hey, so Casey, I'm curious. So on that particular deal, depending on the terms, of course, like I'm just curious how you end up like. If you could walk through quickly just the numbers for that, how does that investment look for you, and how do you profit from it, and then how do you what's your strategy on that?
Well, this is a
particular owning deal?
collaboration over competition, so everybody on this platform is going to share on that.
Yes,
right?
please,
Isn't
sign me up.
that the thing you signed off on?
Oh well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, and you don't obviously don't
with
have to share it if you don't want to, but
No, absolutely.
I'm just
So,
curious.
yeah, and that's where I'll get to finesse it tomorrow. Like, what is the down payment she needs, if anything, right? Like, ideally, I'm going to try to get a low money down and spread this thing out over time. And yeah, I'm just going to look at the payment. Like, I can look at how much cash flow is going to bring it in, that I'm going to bring in from it, and as long as I can be positive on it. But again, I'm going to approach this as low money down as I can, and low monthly payments and low interest, right? That's where I'm shooting. But there's a bunch of room in this thing now because it will cash flow. She's going to probably be focused on that top dollar. So
The rents were $2,300.
I did a quick look. Again, I was just going off Zillow looking around it. So it's 2-bedroom. I assume they were 2-bedroom, 1 bath in both.
Yeah.
That might even.
If it was $2,300, that'd pencil a lot better. But I don't think it'll get that. But maybe it could.
Yeah, we should talk about it.
We
got
should.
a
I was
Bozeman
gonna
too,
say.
so
Yeah.
we'll look at it.
That's awesome. Way to go. That was.
Yeah,
Cool.
but yeah, for sure. And if you guys ever see it, right, when you see that, you hear that, you guys will see that where if they disclose what they bought it for and there's a big gap, that's when you write in capital gains. And that's when seller financing, that's when you become the hero because you can actually help them.
Are you guys all seeing how you can take this home and implement what we've been doing over the last 3 days and truly just get to work? Like really, there shouldn't really be an excuse, right? For other than like I'm getting in my own way or I don't want to do it. Outside of that, is there anything, because we have 2 more days. And if there's anything that's vague to you, it would be important for us to know that so that we could hit that in our calls and try to make sure that we leave you guys with this. Like this is not only a masterclass, this is truly a mastermind. Like this doesn't happen. This doesn't exist in the education space where people come in and they get taught how it's going on in here. And for all of you that are tuning in right now that aren't in the room, go to startwithpace.com and you could also be in the room. But for y'all, do you guys understand like, and does anybody have, yes, please.
So like I think my biggest fear, I'm taking it all in, and you've touched upon this, yes, but it's still, I'm a little scared, like so I acquire these deals and finding buyers.
I mean, we did that all morning today.
Yeah, I know we did. But it's still, I'm just saying it's still scary. Like
I
that's
got
that
it.
component, like I hear I have a handful of stuff and then it's like, but yes, I understand we did all the edge. I'm just saying that I'm still scared.
That's fair. That fear. So here's the thing, right? If you have all of the tools in front of you that you need to, like, let's just call it a puzzle. If you have all of the puzzle pieces right there, that doesn't mean that we're not going to be nervous embarking on the journey, right? And nervousness and a little bit of fear, that's human. And sometimes we need that to push ourselves into action. So don't see that fear as a problem. That fear is gasoline, in all honesty, right? You push through that emotion, and then you start to see, oh my God, I didn't die. Even, look, guys, I think I had the hardest call of the last 3 days, right? And I didn't help the situation. But the reality is did I die?
All 10 fingers.
Was I able to hop on another call right afterwards and it be a thing, like normal? Right? So even if it gets hard, even if it gets messy, this is real. And nothing bad happens to us. We don't perish with a bad phone call. We stand up, we dust ourselves off, and we keep going. That's all. So don't let fear paralyze you. Let it motivate you and energize you.
And my question's kind of the same. So after we find, we get the deal, we realize they're okay with creative financing. I wouldn't really know like terms, but I could throw some numbers at them like you guys have. Like I could figure out that part of it. Once I hang up that phone, what do I do next?
I got a shameless plug.
Yeah, same. Go ahead.
Like so my Zoom on Fridays, Problem to Profits, it's all about bring deals, bring where you're stuck, and then I'll work through it with you to help the next steps. But I would reach out to any one of us to help, or anyone in the community to help you go forward.
Well, one, we talked about your regional leaders. Right. So whatever market you're in, that is why they put us in those places, so that we could help you guys through these deals, and we could do the deals together. Another huge hack is to leverage the top tier TC community, because they'll have all the fundamentals of the paperwork that should be used to keep you and the seller safe as a part of a creative structure. So I think with those two things, you really don't need a whole lot more, because those two folks, those two pillars that are in our communities, and Casey is a leader in our community. Also go look at the calendar. Did you guys go see the calendar? Yes? Okay, how often is Bo helping you underwrite?
Twice a week.
Huh?
Twice a week.
Twice a week.
Bo's in there twice a week, but there's 5 Zooms a week.
Yeah, so there's 5 Zooms a week that he will underwrite these deals. So not only do you have regional leaders that will help you and other people who run Zooms like Casey, but you also have Bo.
Got it.
So there is no excuses on what your next step is, because there's plenty of people to help you on that next step. Okay?
Cool. The other question that I had, if we have our own money, right, we just save those for our own deals, like can we jump in on any of these deals with you guys, or like how does that work?
1,000%.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, look, the reality
I was just saying, like,
is
if you have cash, and I'm like, well, if we have it.
yeah, you should absolutely do that. And in fact, Pace has deals where he's like the last time we did a No One Left Behind challenge, that's who you speak to. Jade has deals right now available to be funded, so reach out. I mean, don't sleep on the fact that you can earn incredible returns with your own cash. And there were people in YouTube asking, and so this is for you guys that were asking the question about, okay, well, I get it. Now we're learning how to get the deals. Where do we get the funding? Guys, there's like, I don't know, thousands of Gators, all of whom are dying to fund your deals. They're like ready, willing, able, and capitalized to do it. And they just want to see the deal. That's it. They got to do their due diligence, and they're ready to hop on. So both ways. Invest in some deals, and also when you have deals and you want to go vertical, you want to stay in it a little bit longer, you want to raise the capital for it. I mean, the one thing that you don't get anywhere else as well is that, like, you've got the network in here, you've got capital in here, and you've got deal flow in here.
What else do you need?
You don't need anything else.
I'll keep you guys posted
Okay.
on that. But no, and then my last question, which I've been saving them all day. If you get an angry like agent, or that one that was like upset about selling her own house with the land that she was going to take her house off of, at any point would you ever say like, hey, if you're an agent, like, hey, I can sell that house for you? You seem like you're frustrated with the whole situation. Or is there other times that you guys negotiate other things, like outside of like real estate stuff?
Well, I just tried to negotiate a little coffee and some salsa dancing.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, literally,
Just
I think
it's
Pace
open.
negotiated like a dinner. Every time he's in Georgia, he goes to dinner with a seller that he did a deal with, and that's part of their contract.
I was there for that, so
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
know that that's a thing.
Yeah. Literally,
Yeah.
you can negotiate anything. So there's some leaders in our Subto community that sell vehicles, Subto. In fact, I connected Yavanna and Eric, Subto's, Mike Davis out of Baltimore. He has his own website and everything. I mean, and then what we were just talking about, property management companies should be sold creatively.
Yep.
So you can negotiate anything and everything, and maybe even an ugly baby. So, yeah.
Okay, is there a place, like, you guys make it so easy, so I hate to even ask this, but is there a place where you can find out, like, hey, we got a person for this, and who, because you know how you know everybody verbally?
This is true.
I have to hit you up every time, but
Hit me up, girl.
The
But do I ever say no?
No, I'll give you a hug.
All right,
Okay,
then.
got it.
There is a
Thank
place.
you.
It's the Facebook group, of course,
Yeah.
right? It's your regional leaders. And going on to those Zooms as well. You should never let yourself feel like there's not a resource, because at any time when you're completely lost, just go into the group and say, hey guys, I'm lost, I'm looking for this thing, and you'll see within a matter of seconds, everybody's willing to get in there and help you.
Because that's the culture that Pace has helped build up. really. Like, we all want to see everybody win.
No, yeah, and that's something you definitely can feel. That's the main thing you can feel in here is that part. We're all here trying to help each other win. It's not me, me, me anywhere.
Yeah.
Even on somebody's cup on the floor, we, not me, it says on somebody's cup. So I was like, yeah, true. But that's it. Thank you.
And the other little cheat code list that Pace mentioned the other day is the Owners Club list.
Good point.
Owners Club has the experts in every area.
Yeah.
So hit that. That's the shortcut.
It's the cheat code, for real. Yeah. Are we still going, or what's our plan?
You have a
Oh, I have a call.
5:45.
Am I the last call? Is there a 6 o'clock?
I think
I'm the last one?
Last call for
Let's
alcohol.
get it. I'm wrapping it up.
Hey, while he's doing, I got a text back. They want to talk tomorrow at 10 or 2 o'clock.
Let's go.
So that's 9.
Do
9
2.
or 1. 9 or 1.
Yeah,
this time here.
Oh, it's both out of our time for when we're. So then you choose, record it, and then we can share it.
Okay.
Can we open the doors at 9?
Yeah. I mean, I could do it at 9 here.
Yeah, do that.
You guys want to come?
I'll buy you a stand.
They're like, I know I said there'd be 3 of us in the Zoom, but there's 100 of us on the Zoom.
Hi, this is Caroline.
Caroline Jamil here. I'm so sorry. I'm like 20 minutes late calling you about the house in Mesa on 5th Street.
Yeah, you the one there now?
I'm not at the house right now. No, I just had some questions about it. Is it still a good time to talk, or?
No, I'm in a meeting right now, but
Okay.
I know that somebody has been calling me about that property, and I thought it was you. So yeah, I'm in a meeting. Probably, like at 7. I'll be. I have a meeting right now.
No problem. Why don't I do this? I'm going to look at it a little bit closer. Are you free tomorrow?
Well, it depends on the time, but you know what? Let me call this person back
Okay.
because I'm gonna forget the code.
Okay, no problem. Call me back. Okay, bye-bye. All right. Here's what it is. Oh, thank you guys. Wow. I was like, it's you guys clapping at me because I wasn't like, yeah, you don't have time for me. What a day. What a phenomenal day, right? Saravi, are there any closing things that we need to know about? If somebody could ask her, that would be great. Let's recap. Okay, so today we had Ingrid. What did they learn from what you brought this morning?
This morning, you have to know why you're here, right? Are you here for yourself? Are you here to serve sellers? Like, why are you here? Get some clarity on what you want. And ultimately know that there's a lot of experts in this community that can help you. Specifically, I would start with your regional leaders and then go from there, be active in the private group, the Subto group, and that's really how you'll move forward. Mm-hmm.
Okay. After that, we did the scary stuff, right? We went through finding buyers. Remember, guys, there is so many free ways to find buyers. There's so many free ways to find buyers. We do not need to be buying this, buying that, doing that, doing that. It just takes a little bit of effort. But you take that effort, and the fastest way for us to get a check is to sell an already existing deal. Mm-hmm. And so anyone in here right now that's struggling, if you have a financial struggle right now, that is your ticket to a check, like fast. 100%. I was able to get money literally over the weekend, and that solved a real problem for myself in my life, right? It changed the trajectory of my entire world. And so I want you guys to understand that the power of the utility that we have at our disposal in these deals is very real. And by learning and mastering those techniques that we talked about in finding buyers, you can be a resource to so many people. Understanding underwriting, of course, not something that we want you guys to get tripped on. You can see Katia and I could go back and forth for hours, if not days, on the nuances of underwriting property. Not something that you necessarily need to get wrapped up in before you start taking action. So that wasn't introduced today to trip you up. But it was introduced today to show you guys that at some point, that's going to be a skill you're going to want to either find somebody on your team who's good at it. Pace still doesn't comp houses. He doesn't. He makes me do it. I'm not kidding you. He still will send me an address and be like, what's this worth? right? Because he doesn't have to, right? He's got me there helping him to do it. He's got his team. He's got Bo. He's got lots of people available to help him. So if you don't want to comp, you don't want to learn how to underwrite, you don't want to learn how to do that, then find somebody who enjoys doing it and cozy up, right? And these calls, guys, they can be amazing. They can be potential $1 million deals. They can be opportunities for us to gain incredible cash flow. They can be chips and salsa. They can also be angry, crazy people, right? But we gotta know that this is the business. It's gonna be a mix of sun and clouds. It's like weather, but we are here for it. And we dust ourselves off, we get up, and we just make the calls, right? Tomorrow's gonna be a great day. Sarabi, what time do we need to be here?
Going through contracts, so how to fill out contracts tomorrow. It'll be a really good session. And actually, in person, we'll have some Gators joining us tomorrow as well. So there are lending community, the Gator method. So there are a couple of them who are flying in tomorrow, and they'll be here. So it'll be really cool to meet them. So yep, 11 a.m. for the contracts workshop. And doors open for those in person. I'll have more announcements for you. I'm mostly addressing the Zoom right now. So I'll do that after we end.
All right.
Smart.
YouTube, Zoom, we love you guys. What a great day. We'll be back tomorrow.
That's right.